Hey, what is going on, everyone? Thank you, everyone, for coming in. We're doing Fear by Year this year. Or this month, I should say. We're talking about the year 1980. Guys, this is a massive, massive year for horror. It was crazy. We were looking through it, and there's just so much to choose from. But let's go ahead and bring my co-hosts in here. We've got Chris.
What's up, dude?
What's up, baby girl?
Oh, saw, dude.
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. And then we've got Steven
What's
after
happening,
hours
guys?
video.
What's up,
What's
man?
going on?
I'm overly caffeinated and ready to go.
Dude, one sub from 300 on the YouTube.
Yep.
Oh man,
We're gonna push it past that. I gotta be honest, Steve, I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping for a little quib or joke or little saying.
we'll get there.
Oh, okay.
It's still,
All right.
yeah, it's still early.
I am drinking alcohol, so
Yeah, it's
Okay,
all
well,
right. As the night goes, we're gonna see what happens. But yeah, awesome. I wanted to bring on our special guest. All of you guys I know out there know who he is. He's the legend, the man, the myth. We got Christian, Mr. Planet CHH himself. What's up, dude?
What's going on? We'll see how well this goes.
Hey,
I thought you were frozen right there. I thought you were.
dude, he was just testing us.
the whole
No.
time he's really not doing anything. He's just acting like it's frozen or something.
anytime we direct something his way, he's like,
That'd be funny. I wouldn't do that to I would do that, just not to you guys. But maybe one day you guys will be in on the joke if I ever do that, though.
There you go. That's
Christian,
funny.
how old were you in 1980, man?
I was negative 12.
I was negative 11.
I wasn't even an idea.
Yeah, I was. I'm the baby, I guess. I was negative 14.
My mom was 7. That's wild.
Wait, what?
My mom was 6. No. Yeah.
My mom had me at 17.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man.
Steven, how old were you?
I would have been negative 10
Okay.
in the negative zone.
It's all right. Chris, this is already going off the handles with you, man.
Engaging content right here.
Awesome. Well, like I said earlier, we're going to be talking about the year 1980 when it comes to horror. And I don't know what you guys think about this year, but I was shocked when I was kind of putting the list together of how many amazing horror films came out in the year 1980.
There's a lot of heavy hitters.
Yeah, it was hard to really narrow it down to pinpoint what we're going to talk about.
This was like a real interesting turning point because you're 2 years past Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So it almost feels like Halloween came, 1979 kind of rolled along, and there was great stuff in 79, but then 80 was like this explosion just out of nowhere. It just erupted, man. And it just never, you got 10 solid years before it really, slowed down,
I feel like this year is like one of the more diverse years as far as, especially with like some of the titles that we're covering tonight. You get a little bit of everything.
Yeah, it's fun because I feel like we've always championed, foreign titles in every episode that we've done so far.
Mm-hmm.
But we have, one of the heaviest hitters in here. We also have a couple films that are kind of considered like the nastiest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a couple on here that are pretty controversial and kind of still are to this day, which is pretty wild. But it's kind of wild, like looking at the list and kind of analyzing it. I was like, shit, we're talking about a lot of diversity here.
Oh yeah.
That's what I was going for. I wanted to definitely cover all the aspects of every potential subgenre that we could to kind of get a, almost a 10,000 foot view.
Yeah. And just a reminder to everybody, the whole point of the show is to essentially kind of give people what we feel would be like you must watch these ones. Like if you were doing history of horror and you were like, what am I going to watch in 1980? I want 6 titles. These are the 6 that we felt were giving you the best view, but also the most impact and have been the most impactful on the genre since then. And there's a couple titles in here that I think are more difficult to recommend to average horror viewers. I can do offhand, that are a little bit tougher. But I think in order to kind of create a cohesive view of the genre, they're necessary viewing, whether you enjoy them or not. I still think you should see them.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's go ahead and go through the chat real quick, and then we're gonna kick it off. All right. Let's see. Joey Andrew, CHH Army Unite.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Joey, I appreciate that. We're a Navy. We're not an Army. We're the Navy.
Oh, the Navy Unite.
CHH Navy.
Sailors Unite.
Actually, take that back. It's the CHH Color Guard.
There you go.
CHH reserves.
Yeah. We're the reserves.
Alexander, what's going on?
What's up, Alexander?
Alexander always shows up to, I swear, every single one of our streams. So
He's always here, man.
Yeah.
And one of these movies will be posted by him in about 2 hours.
Listen, I appreciate that on so many levels.
Yeah, me too.
It's just like, okay, look, like you definitely show up, and then you follow through with whatever movies we're checking out.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, saying hi, chat. Well, hello to you.
Hello.
What's happening?
4K Tent Revival. What's going on?
What's up, man?
And yet again,
this time in caps. This time.
All right, we're an Army. That's fun. We're an Army.
and then of course,
What's up, GC?
What's up, man?
GC.
Oh, it's so funny. He messaged me about something. I don't confuse you guys, but I pair all you guys together. And he hit me up about something the other day. And I think I messaged him this morning. I was like, hey, that show is tonight, right? He's like, no, it's in like a week or so. And I'm like, I swear to God, I got something tonight. He's like, I don't know. And then it clicked. I was like, no, I know it was the movie Den. I got so confused.
Yeah.
I
We
put
all
you
run
guys
it, yeah.
together. I put you guys together with like everything. So
That's funny.
All
right. Cool. Well, I think we whoops. Here we go. I think we covered everything. So let's go ahead and start off with Steven. I know you have a film here that you wanted to present and talk about. Why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Absolutely. So I just figured this was probably the best starting point. And I feel like that this movie especially is like, it's a great recommendation, whether you're like a hardcore horror fan or someone that's maybe trying to be a little bit more well-versed in it. But I decided to roll with none other than John Carpenter's The Fog.
Whose autograph is that? Is that Carpenter's autograph?
No, I got Adrienne Barbeau.
Nice,
Okay.
dude. I
Yeah,
loved her in Swamp Thing.
She was...
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep. So for those of you guys who haven't checked this out, here's just a quick rundown of what this movie's all about. So on the night of Antonio Bay's centennial, a thick glowing fog creeps ashore. Hidden within it are the vengeful spirits of ghostly sailors who were betrayed and murdered by the town's founders a century earlier. As the mist spreads, strange phenomena strikes the town, and those caught in the fog face a supernatural retribution that cannot be stopped. So with this film for you guys, like, where did you guys initially discover this movie? Was this early on as far as like Carpenter movies that you guys were checking out, or was this a little bit further in, maybe after like Halloween or The Thing?
Ooh, I don't.
I know for me, it was definitely after Halloween and the Fog. I mean, not the Fog. I'm sorry, Halloween and the Thing for me. This was definitely a later Carpenter discovery for me. And it's pretty cool to see Jamie Lee Curtis pop back up.
And Tom Atkins, you can't forget him, man.
Oh, yep, Tom Atkins. Yes.
Yeah, I think I saw this. I think I saw this pretty young. I saw the awful Fog remake in theaters when I was whatever year that came out, however old I was then.
Man.
My mom had to drive us to the theater. That's how old I was when that came out. And I remember being like, oh man, that movie was awesome. And then it was like a couple years later, I was like, oh, there's a remake. Like, all right, this is a remake. All right, let me check out the original. And then I was like, God, that remake sucked, man. This original is so much better. I remember thinking too, weird thought. I remember thinking about 15 minutes into the fog being like, man, Jamie Lee Curtis gave it up easy in this one. Tom Atkins got that power.
Dude,
Dude.
that man can finesse.
Yeah, man. Dude, that guy's got it, man.
Yeah, this one, I mean, what would you guys say? I mean, this one I feel like is out of like most of his films, I feel like this is probably one of the heaviest in atmosphere.
Well, I think it's if it's not his greatest score he's done, it's at least 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
I would agree with
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I think the score is massive for that movie. You know.
Yeah. I think too, it's so like old school ghost story.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's incredible, man. I mean, even if you watch the behind the scenes or read any behind the scenes about them, just the challenges they had trying to get the fog to roll certain ways, and like you don't really think logistically. You think like, oh, you just set up fog machines and you go until the tiniest wind gust comes through, and then you got to think your whole set is now exposed, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of times this sort of gets missed because there's no extremes in this, right? The thing is bona fide classic, right? The effect, everyone talks about the effects are great. Kurt Russell's awesome. Assault on Precinct 13. I remember I was always like, oh, a little girl gets shot by an ice cream truck at the beginning. But the fog is so traditional in almost every sense. And the movie is shot beautifully. I think his name is John Housewater, the ghost story at the beginning that he tells, sitting around the fire on the beach. There's a comfort to this movie that is so incredibly late October.
Oh yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
And it's not to say it's an innocent movie, but like I feel like I could show, if I had kids, I feel like I could show my young kids this. You know what I mean?
It's definitely one of those films. When I first saw it, it didn't there wasn't anything to me when I'm seeing this that like I guess scared me or okay, that's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely it's interesting because in Halloween, his first that there was a couple scenes that were pretty rough, especially as a kid watching, and then going on to this, it's completely different. It is straight atmosphere, through the whole film. That and suspense and all that stuff. So yeah.
Well, I think that's the interesting thing. If you're getting into horror and you're like, hey, I'm going to start watching John Carpenter, and you're used to more modern film traditions, Carpenter is so, I hate to use the word again, but traditional, and just the way that he shoots movies. There isn't anything. The movie is just naturally gorgeous. There's these incredible landscape shots from the lighthouse Adrienne Barbeau is in. Like, there's just some beautiful shots all around, but the movie is so... Oh, lost Christian.
There we go. Lost into the fog.
Oh no, the fog rolling through. But like there are moments like in the house when the fog starts coming, when it's creeping around, and it gets really creepy.
I think this is a film that I felt like after repeat viewings, and especially you watch it like on the right night at the right time, there's something that, it's not like over the top gory or like Jordan was saying, obviously it's very different in its approach compared to Halloween, but there's something about the movie that I think is just so effective with like, I mean, it rides the atmosphere like 10 times.
Oh yeah.
And you just never know. I mean, the best part about it is just anticipating when the fog's actually going to end up striking, right? A sense of dread that's essentially rolling in when that does actually end up happening.
And I think the thing too, I think The Fog is a perfect example of a movie that people will learn to admire as they season in the horror genre. If we're talking directly to people who are just dipping their feet in, I can kind of see like okay, that wasn't really my thing. You know what I mean? There was nothing scary about it. There's not over the top gore. I can kind of see where people can miss it, but with repeat viewings, it just lends better in that sense of it almost feels like, in a way, if this was made today, it would kind of be like on the award stage, you know, because it's not over the top, it's not
Mhm.
gratuitous. It's just very
I could see that.
Yeah, I think the one thing that just really stands out to me, and I know you were talking about this earlier, but um is the setting that it's in. You don't get very many like seaside horror films. You know, the one that I feel like I always pair this with is Dead and Buried. Just because it
Mhm.
feels like the perfect double feature that you could do with this. Um
Jordan, are
but
you able
yeah,
to let him back in?
I don't. He's not showing up on my end.
Oh, he said sorry. I think I'm back at the check.
Yeah, where you can add them in. I don't see him. Okay. We'll keep talking. I'm gonna try and figure this out.
yeah,
Oh,
no
there we
worries.
go.
But
There
I
you
mean,
go.
There he is.
yeah, there's a lot of like we said, that the atmosphere, the seaside vibe that this film has. I mean, just right from the opening, like the campfire tale, like, and I've talked about this countless times. Like, there's just something about that that really kind of establishes like the status and what they're trying to do with this. Obviously,
So Christian, The Fog is a top 3
Yeah.
Carpenter
Sorry.
score for you.
Oh yeah.
Where does Christine rank in that? Because that's my favorite Carpenter score.
The score or the movie?
No, just the music, just Carpenter score.
To be honest, not very high.
I understand.
I like. I mean, I think Halloween's the best, as cliche as that sounds, but I'm a really big fan of They Live and Prince of Darkness's score a lot.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
I think I'd probably go. Oh man, the fog has to be there too. I'd go Halloween. Halloween. I'd probably go the fog, Prince of Darkness, and They Live because I love those. And then I'd have to re-listen to Christine's. I mean, I remember Bad to the Bone in the beginning more than anything, and that you know.
I'm seeing Carpenter, my wife and I, October 9th in New York.
Oh, I'm
I'm
jealous.
curious to see
Awesome.
what he pulls out.
I like his records. I think his Lost Themes
oh, those are
records.
so good.
I like number 2, Lost Themes 2. I think is legitimately great. The
Mhm.
opening track, Distant Dream, I think is fucking great. So
Yeah.
I would be even more excited to hear those records played live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Thing score.
because of the
He-
dum dum.
He's definitely carved out like kind of a separate side project with all of that. I mean, obviously, I know he's composed, for all of his or a good portion of his movies, but the Lost Themes albums have been definitely something very special.
Yeah, I mean, I love the 3 David Gordon Green Halloween scores that he did.
Mhm.
You know, where
Yeah.
he did in combination with his son and his is it his nephew? Is it the other guy's nephew, the third guy?
Yeah,
I
his
think it's his
nephew.
nephew. Yeah. But I think that's going back to The Fog. When you're getting into John Carpenter and you're diving into movies like this, like you're entering a whole Carpenter vibe with the music, so incredibly influential. Just that traditional style, man. I mean, it's like the quintessential ghost story, and the ending in the church is so goddamn cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Like the reveal of the pirates is super cool. The makeup looks fantastic. It's shot well. It's like the perfect example of like how to shoot like full body effects without revealing too much or without making it look hokey. Shoots them
Yeah.
perfectly. They're lit incredibly well. I remember watching the 4K and like picking up on a little bit more of the detail on them and almost feeling like, okay, I'm starting to see too much, I feel like. But yeah, it's good stuff, man.
yeah. I feel like, especially with fog, that's got to be hard to film in. You have to, with the lighting, the way the light reflects off the fog. So the way he did it was really, really good.
Yeah, especially like those rolling fog shots. It always blows my mind when I watch this. I'm like, how the hell did you do this? Especially like they're shooting on a coast where
Mm-hmm.
it was probably so difficult, man. I can't imagine the headache. Just like
I remember them saying that a lot of the shots where you see it like come in, they
Yep.
reversed it or something. So that does give it like that cool dreamy, kind of nightmarish
It's kind of
look.
what they did with
Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
Salem's Lot.
Yeah, you play it in reverse, and it throws you off. It's really eerie to see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that. There's always like that break, like that uncanny valley. So you can have somebody moving. Like Salem's Lot is so effective because he's moving a direction that we understand, but then the element around him is moving in the opposite. So our brain starts to go like, okay, hold on, it's abnormal.
It's really effective, I feel like.
So small, man. These like little tiny details just make such a big impact.
Yeah.
I think I would say real quick, I think the best scene of The Fog, I was thinking about what you were talking about earlier. Like, I know I watched, like, when I became when I really got into horror in the late 2000s, obviously I know I watched Halloween and The Thing. And to be honest with you, I think I saw They Live before The Fog, but I just remember at a certain point, like I'm one of those people, when I find something that I want to get into, I go to Wikipedia and then I start looking at the filmography, or if it's a band, the discography, and I just like go through it in order.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I remember doing The Fog. I skipped like the Dark Star thing and Precinct on 13, which I shouldn't have because I loved Assault on Precinct. It was way better than I thought it would be. But anyway, when I watched The Fog, I remember the only scene that I didn't expect because of the way the movie was is when they go to that hospital and like Jamie's in that room with the dead dude on the table and he gets up. That shit's great. All right, because I didn't think that movie would have a scene like that. I love that. I love that.
It's like one of my favorite hospital scenes, right next to the Blob remake. In the hospital.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh god. Oh, dude.
Quintessential,
Legendary.
man. Both of those, hot take, both of those hospital scenes are better than all of Halloween 2. Just saying.
Yeah.
When did people start hating Halloween 2? I don't get it. What the hell is wrong with
Listen,
Halloween
to be fair,
2?
I was never a big
this is
fan
like
of it.
this is a thing that started like the last 3 years. I don't know where it's coming from.
I was never a big fan.
Christian, you got to right the wrongs.
I don't know. It's a great double feature. I mean, they go perfectly into each other.
I remember when I first got into horror, because I guess I'm open about it. I was not a lifelong fan. When I got into it, I remember going online in 2010. You wouldn't be caught dead saying you liked Halloween 3. I mean, I'm serious.
No,
you couldn't.
that.
I mean, you couldn't be caught dead saying it.
Yeah.
And now everybody loves it.
Listen,
and everybody loved Halloween too. And now I don't know. I'm not picking on Chris, but it's this thing now. I just see so much shit on what the hell. What the hell is wrong with Halloween 2?
I'm sure you can recall this, but like even Rob Zombie's Halloween movies, those were like trashed on for the longest time, and now I feel like that there's been kind of a I don't want to say a resurgence, but like a reevaluation of them.
Yeah.
So
maybe so.
To be fair, I like Halloween 2 more when I don't watch it directly after the first Halloween.
I've never done that. I ain't got. Who's got the time to watch that shit back to back? That's like 5
Listen, bro,
hours.
I need you to watch Halloween and then watch Halloween 4 and then watch Halloween 2. And you'll like Halloween 2 more, I think, that way. And I need you to do that tomorrow. I need you. Good, report back to me, man. Let me know. Well, listen, I think look, if right off the top of my head, if I'm thinking top hospital scenes, I'm going Jaws when he makes the mayor sign the paper. That's a great hospital scene. I'm also going My Bloody Valentine remake, quick hospital scene.
Now you're talking. I can get on board with that. I love
what
that.
About well, we were talking about this earlier. I mean, Halloween 2 or Rob Zombies, that whole sequence in the beginning, I don't know, there's just something about that I feel like really works.
When he kills
it's the best
when he kills Ma.
Yeah, to me.
So I'm not saying it's the best, but it is one that comes to mind.
Yeah, definitely.
4K Tent Revival brought this up, and I kind of agree, and that's what I was going to say, is hated just because Carpenter hates it. And I'm not saying, Chris, that's you, but I can see that people have that mentality that, well, if Carpenter hates it, then it's not a good film.
So I'm right dead in the middle of reading Taking Shape, the Dustin McNeil Halloween franchise.
Great book.
Yeah, incredible, man. I knew John Carpenter didn't like Halloween 2. I didn't understand the level at which he did until I read that section of the book.
Yeah.
Like that book really shows how much he despised it. And to be fair, I don't hate it that much. I'm not a person who's going to say like you suck for liking Halloween 2 or whatever. I just think it is a little bit of like whiplash going from the first Halloween to the second. And what makes me more upset is that the second tries so hard to feel like the first.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just tonally so different. That's my only gripe with it. I actually Halloween 2 is like 4th in my Halloween ranking. So I don't hate it.
Wait, here's the thing, because now you got me
Oh,
on
boy.
this, because I actually just
Let's
did a video.
go.
I just did a video about this like last week, because I did videos about that Taking Shape book when I was fascinated by it. There's no way in hell John would have liked anything during that time, because he was forced to write the script because he got sued into doing it. He claims he was drunk. Whether it is a Star Wars thing or not, who cares? It's way better than any of the Blumhouse shit that came out years later. And he had to reshoot a lot of it because they hired a guy that hadn't done anything. How on earth was he going to like it anyway?
Yeah.
John, there's no circumstance where John would have liked it doing that film. He was legally obligated to do it. So when he says he hates it, he just doesn't talk about that. Wait till you get to Taking Shape 2 and you learn about all the times John tried to buy back into the franchise to do sequels and got outbid.
Yeah.
He never talks about that. John doesn't say shit about none of that. So when people say, oh, well, John hates it. No, he doesn't hate it. He hates that he had to do it. Period. You know, it's that there's just so much more to it than him saying he doesn't like his script. He was forced to write it.
My favorite section of Taking.
But my thing is this: I just got to say this: Halloween 2 is fucking a classic. I love Halloween 2.
What's up, Garrett?
Nick pisses me off. He drives me up the wall when he just says it's boring. I'm like, you've watched it. He said one time. He's not going to watch this, so I don't care. Nick said one time, I was watching Halloween 2 a time and I fell asleep. I'm like, you've seen it 800 times. You mean, you really think it's not possible to fall asleep watching a film you've seen 800 times? Like, what? Well, unless you're watching 9/11 footage on repeat, I think you might be able to fall asleep. Like, watching 9/11 footage might keep you awake, for God's sakes. But no, Halloween, I'm not mad at you, Chris. I mean, of course, but this has become a thing over the last 3 years. I never saw this pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, you know, when I got into it, you know, like I said, nobody liked Halloween 3, and then you couldn't say you like Rob Zombie movies. But now it's Halloween. I guess it's just one of those things. Now it's Halloween's turn.
I think after COVID, nobody just wants to see anything with hospitals. That's the problem, bro. I think that's the issue. But I will say, my favorite part of Taking Shape is that there's a paragraph where Rick Rosenthal mentions how him and John Carpenter were never friends, and like they were always just kind of like on whatever grounds. And then right after that paragraph, there's a big bolded quote, and it just says, "I think Halloween 2 is a piece of shit, John Carpenter." It's like the greatest pairing.
And here's the thing. You guys will never know what John genuinely thinks about those Blumhouse movies.
Oh, no.
Oh, not at all.
He will never utter a word about it because he agreed to do those scores and he got paid very well for those movies. You'll never know how he really feels. I would bet my mortgage he's not happy with them. There's no way on earth, but you'll never know about that. So,
well,
sorry, I'll just get going.
We're just jumping. There we go.
Yeah, we're jumping.
All right. So should I go? Should I go into my?
Yeah. Let's.
And that's the fall.
All right. Let's put a cap on that one.
All right. So, I do want to before we jump into this movie, I do want to clarify. This is the point where I was mentioning earlier, where we get into different territory, right? Because this is probably the most controversial film we've talked about up until now, safely. We're talking about 1980s Cannibal Holocaust by Ruggero Deodato. I can't tell. Oh yeah, I have my Grindhouse releasing.
Hell yeah,
guy right here.
Oh yeah.
I thought all day about how to introduce this movie, because I always feel like alone on a ship when I'm like, hey, this is one of my favorite horror movies to talk about because it's so interesting to me. I watched this first. I downloaded this along with probably 15 viruses from LimeWire when I was young. That's how I saw Cannibal Holocaust. And Up until that point, I kept hearing it almost like it wasn't real. It was like something that was out there, but I could never find it. And when I eventually did, this movie has the honor of being one of the only movies that ever actually made me nauseous, like physically nauseous. And yes, it is an Italian film, Italian cannibal film, so there is animal violence in it. Not to justify the animal violence, but 99% of it was for hunting and food purposes because they actually shot this movie they were actually out in the middle of nowhere shooting this, but they decided, hey, we're just going to videotape this. It's part of the charm. The Grindhouse releasing Blu-ray has the PETA cut, which is my preferred viewing experience, where they just remove all of that. Much prefer that. But I think what's most interesting about Cannibal Holocaust, one, is how an early example of found footage it is, being that the plot centers around our anthropologist going to the forest to find them. He then finds this indigenous tribe. He respects them, gets along with them. He's looking for these missing journalists. He finds essentially their remains along with all their canisters of film. And he brings it back to New York and they start watching it. And most of the movie is what they filmed. So he did find the footage. I think this is a movie that has been incredibly misunderstood for a long time until the last couple of years, where there's really been kind of a profound like re-exploration of it. I think an acceptance of it. It's not as extreme now as it was clearly then. But it has kind of gone through a little bit of a re-analyzation. And I think it's still one of the most powerful, subtle examples of true, like, just horror in every sense of the word. And nothing is jumping out at you. There's no jump scares. There's no evil guy in a mask. It's just focused on the horrors of humanity. And I think that's the most fascinating bit of it all. And it's funny because it's still one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. And there's nothing horror movie scary about it.
Chris, how old were you
when I saw this?
Yeah.
I was probably middle school.
Man.
Why?
No, I was just curious.
Yeah, it was because I had heard, I can't remember how, man. I can't tell you what I read about it, but I just knew it existed. And there was no, I couldn't go on and like search a lot about it. I just kind of knew what it was and I found it. And I remember thinking years later if that was even the proper version of the film, because like I remember as a kid downloading music off LimeWire, and like there's still songs that I find that I'm like, wait, this didn't sound like what I downloaded 20 years ago.
Right.
Because like they would like title it as like a early studio recording, and you thought it was the actual song. Fun fact, I actually sold a Linkin Park CD that I downloaded off LimeWire, and none of it was Linkin Park. So to $10 that I made off people who did.
Yeah, look at you, man. Coming up in the world.
Yeah,
There
man.
you go.
Yeah, I just think I've always been so fascinated with this movie. I think because it tapped into something that I've always felt was so deranged about interpretations of media. And while I'm not like a political person, I think this movie says more about how we interpret news outlets and the manipulation of media than
For sure.
any other movie that's blatant outright about it. It's a perfect film, man. I mean, how can you forget anything that you see in this movie?
It's like etched into your memory.
Yeah. Do you think you mentioned that, and especially how it's told is through this found footage and it's sometimes called the first found footage movie. But do you think it would still have the same impact if, like, let's say it was told in a traditional sense, or do you think it works better as is, as they find this footage and they play it and you get to see their reaction to watching this footage that they found?
Without spoiling it, the scariest part of Cannibal Holocaust is, outside of the imagery, is the very end, which is not the found footage. It's the actions of what they want to do with the footage.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie doesn't have the impact without that ending.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, if you erased all the narrative, the real-time narrative, and you just said like, okay, all you're going to see is their footage, it's still going to be shocking. I mean, you have a
Right.
girl on a pole, you have abortions happen, like there's all kinds of crazy shit happening, right? And it's still going to have that value, but I think that that's surface level compared to the terror that is the real life kind of events that he's commenting on outside of that. And people are probably like, well, I don't want to watch, a political movie. Dude, most people
Sorry, I saw Garrett's comment. It's so funny because as a kid, I swear I thought Rage Against the Machine did do the DX theme song for like years and years. I thought it was DX until I watched WrestleMania on VHS. I was like, that's not Tom Morello on guitar. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I was
ahead,
just
I'm
saying,
sorry.
I think that there's a lot of people who have seen Cannibal Holocaust that still don't understand what it was exactly commenting on, because the stuff that we remember it most for is what most people remember it for. You know what I mean? But when you sit down, turn off your phone, and truly watch, I think people will always find something a little bit deeper that's going to make the movie feel more prominent, especially in today's day and age, man. Like it was always confusing to me, the trust that we have of what's coming out of the mouth of a guy that's on TV. You know what I mean? And I always remember thinking as a kid, when I was learning editing and stuff, I was like, man, you can manipulate anything to look like anything. And as long as you have power and you have trust, you can convince anybody what you showed them is real.
Yeah.
And Cannibal Holocaust nails that on the head so well without forcing it down your throat, because most people never pull that from the movie unless you know going into it.
For sure.
So, yeah, now we have a 4K coming out. Like a 4K Ultimate Deluxe Edition.
Oh, really? When's that coming out?
Grindhouse in their latest newsletter said they were working on their upcoming 4K Ultra Deluxe Edition of the movie.
This is going to sound controversial, but I hope it's not just the PETA cut. I'm going to tell you why.
I hope it's not. I hope it's both.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
So I can't fault the guy for not wanting to watch animals being killed, albeit for food or not. Can't fault the guy for doing that. But the fact of the matter is, ugly or not, that's a part of history.
Mm-hmm.
It was done. They filmed it. They released it like that. I think just once people should experience that, just to see what people saw back in the day. The full thing. So
first viewing should be the full uncensored cut.
Yeah.
Again, not going to fault anybody for not wanting to watch that, but it is a part of history. Ugly, good or bad. So,
yeah.
I feel like as difficult as those scenes are to watch, as a whole, I feel like it just kind of reinforces just the savagery of those journalists going down there and what exactly they were doing for the sake of the movie. Because, and I agree, I don't really like sitting through that because, big animal advocate myself, but seeing it at least one time, unedited, whatever, I think it definitely kind of hammers home a point that the film is trying to make.
Well, it's kind of, if we want to talk about Halloween again, it's kind of like Halloween 6. I think you can have your
Halloween too.
You can have your preferred cut, but I think you have to watch the theatrical, cut, and you have to watch the producer's cut, and then you can watch whatever one you want to yearly from there. But part of the experience of Cannibal Holocaust, being young, was watching that stuff. That was part of the initial experience that had such an impact on me. And then when I watched the PETA cut, I didn't remember feeling like this movie feels different. It felt cleaner, but that's because I knew what was removed. If I had watched the PETA cut and then accidentally clicked the theatrical cut, I'd be like, what the fuck is happening? But
yeah. Yeah, I go back to what you said about just kind of the way that if being from back in 1980 and how prevalent and relevant it is now with the way that we are fed our information, regardless of what lane you are on. It's still very impactful to see that and to realize, geez, this is still extremely relevant in today's age, which I think is really cool what about this film, that it has still stayed that relevant throughout all this time.
And what's cool too, there was a great book written about Ruggero Deodato that explored his whole filmography. I think Fab Press put it out. I would have to post a picture of it for people to see it. It talks about these little things like how they decided to shoot the modern day stuff in New York to make it make Americans feel like this is at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it does bring a certain, like, especially if you're from the East Coast and you've been to New York, it's almost like shooting at home. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, wait. But also, too, it's just like, how can you forget the image of the woman impaled on the stick? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How can you forget or even fathom the thought of making love to someone on top of the burned wreckage of a hut that you just burned down with people inside of it? You know what I mean? Like, how... Yeah. These are the things that stick with you, man. Like, and it's crazy because this movie's gorgeous. Like, the score for this movie is beautiful. The music, those opening helicopter shots,
it's stunning.
Are wonderful. There's a lot that technically I love about this movie. It just leaves an impact like no other. And like I said in the beginning, man, like, extreme warning. This movie goes very, very far, and it's definitely not for the if you're weary in any way of it, I would definitely approach it carefully. But I think you have to experience it at least once. I get why people don't like this movie. I understand it. I wear a Cannibal Holocaust shirt to conventions, and I get people that are like, I can't believe you'll wear a shirt with that on it. And I'm like, well, clearly you've A, never seen the movie, or B, you never like actually watched it. So I don't know.
Yeah. My buddy here, Pee-Pee Dangler.
It's not Pee-Pee Dangler.
Never seen it, but I mean, if you're up for it, I definitely watch it.
I will admit,
PP, grow a set and watch it. I don't know if he's been on here before. I shared the link, so maybe you might get some of the my weirdos that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for that.
The CHH reserve is coming in, man.
Here we go.
It's like Saving Private Ryan at the beginning when they're all coming offshore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it does a great job at, really, I don't know, just kind of shining a light on like media exploitation, voyeurism. Obviously there's certain moments throughout the film that provide the shock value. And I think, like Chris was saying, those are the moments that I feel like stick out the most. But it does a really great job at commentating on journalism and how the truth can be skewed. It's but this is not an easy watch, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I think that's interesting. Before we move on, I think it's interesting how, like, this movie could have been much more exploitative in how it shoots the material. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at like Cannibal Pharaoh or Cannibal Ferox, however you want to explain it, that movie to me is like too far. Like, it goes way too far into the exploitation era for me. Same with like, Eli Roth, when he made Green Inferno, he's like, this is my love letter to Cannibal Holocaust. And when the credits rolled, I was like, I don't see any influence besides indigenous people. Like, I see none of the trademarks, none of the love for Cannibal Holocaust. Like, I got none of it from it. So there is kind of this, I feel like, this skewed view of what the movie is that's probably from people's memory of it, not watching it recently. But yeah, I think people should definitely either revisit it or give it a go. The Grindhouse release Blu-ray that's out is incredibly comprehensive. 88 Films has a 4K overseas that's also very comprehensive. And I'm sure if you loved the Beyond recent 4K release from Grindhouse, then wait to see what Grindhouse has up their sleeve for a 4K. I know I'm not the biggest advocate of 4K and I don't really upgrade everything, but this is one that I definitely will be.
Yeah. I was not aware of this. There is a documentary on Tubi called Deodato Holocaust.
There's also one that I have on Blu-ray called In Search of Cannibal Holocaust. That's incredible.
Okay, good to
I'll have
know.
to check this out.
Yeah. What were you saying, Steven?
Oh, I was just gonna say, I know that the 88 films 4K. I mean, that definitely felt like, up until finding out about Grindhouse coming out with one, but I feel like that's probably the best the film's ever gonna look, for what it is. So
Christian, this is for you.
It's like, okay, Zombie 2 is just as good.
I would say
I'm-
better, but that's just me.
Yeah, I love Romero, but I think Fulci is he's the man. I think Zombie is as good as Dawn, maybe a little bit better. But I expect that. I always get a little bit of shit when I say I like Zombie a little bit better.
I feel like they're kind of hard to kind of a mild compare. I think so too. I mean, living in the Terrifier era of horror, a lot of these movies are kind of sanitized in comparison. But what's funny is how these movies, for being milder, in my opinion, hold up better than Terrifier does.
Well, do you think if this movie was to be brought out today with the animal stuff, do you think it would still be greenlit?
Hell no.
Not a chance.
No.
No,
Not a
tortoise
chance.
would be CGI, bro.
There'd
Yeah.
be too much
Well, yeah.
pushback.
Yeah, there'd be
CGI.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I don't think this movie would remotely exist if somebody got the idea now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
I
mean, I could see people getting very offended by this now, and that's why, like, Deodato, for the fact that he did this film, I commend him on so many levels, and that's why I appreciate this movie so much, is because it takes some big swings, especially for that time. But I don't ever I don't think it would be possible to make a movie like this now, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, closest you're gonna get is that guy that flew the drone over the indigenous tribe, and they were throwing like arrows at him. You know what I mean? From a couple of years ago.
Oh. Yeah.
Dude.
All right. Well, any other last thoughts on Cannibal Holocaust?
I love the movie.
Same.
Yeah.
Chris did a really good job of. I remember when we talked about that on. I forgot it was y'all's podcast. He broke it down beautifully, and I agree with everything he says about that one, because there is more than meets the eye.
Can I say one thing? Going back to, I don't know who was asking this, like, if the documentary style enhances the film, but I do think that that's the case, because if you take this and you compare it to like Cannibal Ferox or Eaten Alive, I think that that's what elevates it a little bit more. It makes it very jarring and almost feel like we're watching a nightmare unfold. Compared to those, I think that it's filmed in more of a traditional sense. I just don't think it carries like the same level of impact as Cannibal Holocaust does.
I also don't think if this movie came out today, it would be as the found footage aspect would be as impactful, because we're so used to it now. Like, you put on a new found footage horror movie, you go in knowing what found footage is. You already know I'm not seeing anything that's real. This is purposely this way, and it kind of dims, the impact. There's a certain like camp that now comes with it, I think. But imagine in the 80s sitting down. I mean, we're putting this in 1980 as the official release date because it was the Italian premiere. But in 85, when this lands in the US, this was probably like a whole, like, oh my God, it's kind of like, what the Blair Witch Project was in 99, where people were like, whoa, hold on. Like, this looks like my home videos from when I was a kid and my mom threw me in the woods and
just threw me in the woods.
Learned how to survive. So I think, I definitely don't think this movie has anywhere near the same impact if it lost that aesthetic to it.
And I think like with this movie, I mean, there's a certain level of mythos that's with it. Maybe even less so now, but I just remember, before discovering this movie, I just remember like the things I would hear about this movie. I mean, it almost shook me to my core. Like I was I'm not gonna lie, I was like kind of scared to check this out. I was like
Mhm.
trying to think like early high school.
Well, the name alone,
Oh yeah.
Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah.
It's not a name that you just kind of shrug your shoulders about when you first
No.
hear it.
Yeah. Or when somebody says, "Oh my god, the director was prosecuted for killing his actors," and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh man,
This
I gotta
and
watch that now."
this and Faces of Death were the ones I was like most apprehensive to check out. Like
Well,
way
didn't
back
they do
when.
the same thing with the actors for the Blair Witch Project? They kind of stayed underground for a little bit.
Yeah, the director hit him. Like he didn't want him to talk about it, or they
Yeah.
like took a year off.
Yeah, yeah. It's just it's so interesting, man, because in the found footage conversation, like I listen when I'm listening to podcasts or I'm watching movies or watching YouTube videos about found footage. Nobody ever brings up Cannibal Holocaust. I'm like, is it kind of forgotten that it's not? It's like, is it in that weird kind of area like that it's not considered?
Is it less accessible? Would you say that? I mean, it's not something that I feel like most people would have the easiest time sitting down and watching. I don't know about you guys, but that's
But it's interesting to me when somebody can bring up like Ghost Watch or Last Broadcast, you know what I mean?
love
Stuff that's like
Ghostwatch.
deeper cut found footage and not somehow stumble across. Or maybe there's like a stigma that's like, oh, I'm not watching that. That's
I think that's at least half of it.
Yeah.
yeah. Because if I said to I remember like talking to my wife way back when we first met and being like, yeah, one of my favorite movies is Cannibal Holocaust. She's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What is that about?
Yeah. Well,
Red
exactly.
flag.
I'll be honest with you guys. The first couple years that I was like talking about movies online, like when I started posting on Instagram, I was a little bit ashamed to be like, oh, this is one of my favorite movies. Because I would talk to people that are like, dude, you're sick. That's one of your favorite movies. And then I started having people be like, yeah, dude, I fall asleep to August Underground. And I was like, oh, never mind. I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Joey Andrews, you could cut all the violence out of the movie, and the fact that it's called, like we said, Cannibal Holocaust
sure.
would have made it controversial.
Agreed.
Sure.
Big
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right. Well, I think we're good. Real quick, PB Dangler. So if I'm going to watch it, do I have to get a DVD or is there a Blu-ray? You can get this Grindhouse releasing one Blu-ray, but if you just hang on, you might be able to get a nice 4K.
Yeah, I was gonna say it may be on Shudder. I'd stream it and watch it first. Don't buy the Blu-ray if they got a new release coming out.
Which props to Shudder. Anytime Cannibal Holocaust is streaming on there, it's part of their essentials category. So shout out to them for knowing what the fuck is up. I mean, if anybody did, it would be those guys. But yeah.
All right, cool. Well, I think we definitely talked a lot about Cannibal Holocaust, and
You're welcome.
not in a bad way. I think we did it justice too. All right, moving on. This next one I'm going to go ahead and talk about. This one came out May 1st of 1980. Obviously, this is Lucio Fulci's introduction into his Gates of Hell trilogy, and we have got City of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Now this one, yeah, dude, that's nice. Always showing up with the VHSs.
Dude, I have to, man.
This movie, it's what's really cool and interesting about these movies is there's not a lot of linear storytelling at all. It's really just for shock.
Welcome to Lucio Fulci.
Exactly. Basically, it opens up very crazy with a priest. How do I say it without getting in trouble? Offing himself, I guess, and it opens up the gates of hell. And really, throughout the whole movie, after that, it goes just balls to the wall. Just it gets nuts. There's guts being vomited out. There's random right in the beginning fire appearing in a house. I think one of the scariest and claustrophobic scenes, the girl who's buried essentially alive You know, that whole thing. You can hear the knocking, scratching, the screaming for help.
Don't forget
Oh.
swarms of bugs.
Swarms of bugs. um, and
The eye
yeah,
bleeding scene.
what's there? This movie is just filled with so much. I mean, the whole trilogy has so much in it. This one actually for me was a pretty recent watch, and I'm talking like as of a year.
Mhm.
I
Love
had
that
not
movie.
seen any of these movies, and definitely immediately fell in love with these films. Fell in love with Fulci. This isn't my favorite out of the trilogy. Mine is The Beyond. However, this is an amazing release or amazing film. Um, like I said, one of the things that I like about this is it's part of its charm that it doesn't follow that linear storytelling. It's kind of don't expect to know really what's going on. Just buckle up and enjoy the ride because that's what these films are.
It's kind of like a City of Living Dead is kind of like it almost feels like a greatest hits. Like there's these like the whole movie's incredible, but then there's these like fucking fantastic moments that are like I remember more than the whole movie in general. Like I will never forget the girl vomiting it up about all her insides in the car.
Insides, yeah.
There's something
Right
Dude.
there.
like yeah, but it
That's
keeps
incredible.
the thing is, dude, is like the bar is already high enough when you have somebody, you know, puking up their guts and they're crying blood, but then it keeps going and then like a liver comes out and like it just keeps it goes on for so long. You're like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Well, and then the screwdriver scene. I mean, that right there, I was like, whoa, dude, chill out, bro.
It escalated so
He
quickly.
snaps.
Dude.
I like the casket scene or the girl that's buried. That scene it
Mhm.
just creeps me out. Where he's got he thinks he hears her yelling from her. What do you call it? Yeah, the casket. Like,
Yep.
and he keeps thinking he hears her, and he'll stop and he'll walk away. Then he'll finally go back. I don't know what it is. That shit creeps me out. But I love that the cemetery setting in that movie. I didn't love that movie at first, but a lot of Italian stuff I just didn't. It took me a couple times, and just I had to go back to it with just Italian stuff in general. I had to go back to it and just like I forgot what I watched first, but I picked the wrong movie. I know I did. Then I went back and I watched I think it was the Demons films, which are really like you tiptoe your way into them. And then I watched something else in the vein of that, Nightmare Beach, which goes out of its way to feel American. And then I started tipping myself back into Italian again. And I had to take baby steps. So I always tell people that like don't go into the deep end and watch like, you know, The Strange Vice of Mrs. Worth is your first Italian horror movie. Like take it slow and go to those. And then it's the funny thing about Fulci is whenever I watch one of these movies, whether it's The Beyond or City, which some of my friends call it Gates of Hell and other people call it City of Living Dead. I prefer City of Living Dead. I like that title better, but it seems like Gates of Hell is the preferred title. But whenever I watch that, City, Zombie, or House by the Cemetery, whenever I get done with it, I say to myself, damn it, that might actually be the best one. Because all of those movies around that time are all City. I think City is that good. Like I think City is as good as The Beyond, or probably better than House by the Cemetery. If I'm being honest, City really is just like a goddamn. It's nasty at parts, but I love the priests in those movies, and that was a movie that really looked great on high definition too.
Yeah.
I mean, that 4K really rocked the house. I have the Cauldron one. I think that's what you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the Gates of Hell variant of it.
Damn, Chris.
Christian, no love for New York Ripper, I see.
Oh no, I do love New York Ripper.
Oh, okay.
I'm in love with the New York Ripper. As a matter of fact,
Yeah, me
Okay.
too. Yeah,
that's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite. I think it's a slasher film. I know there's always debate about what is or what isn't. I put it as one, and I think it's one of the best of all time. There's some
so
truly uncomfortable scenes, But to me, like, it's funny. I love it when they have scenes so bizarre and uncomfortable. It makes me laugh. Like the guy puts his foot under the table.
I was
Yeah,
just
Like
gonna bring that scene up.
like it's hysterical to me. That I find Serbian film to be absolutely hysterical.
yeah.
As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, I said I was going to review. I have an uncut version of that movie that I was going to watch, and people were like, "Where's that review at? I got to watch it." I've seen Serbian film a couple of times. To me, it's kind of like maybe more so than Cannibal. Like I don't really think Cannibal Holocaust is funny. Not that I'm so bad at staying on topic, but to me, when you push the boundaries as far as what Serbian film does, to me, it's funny. I can't take it seriously.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I'm just reminding
That's the
myself.
one.
I got reminded myself. I got to watch that. My wife's not going to watch it, but yeah. But
Yeah.
City pushes it pretty much. City pushed it pretty far, man. I remember when I watched that movie, it's like God. And that Italian gore. I always tell people like there's something muddier and
Yeah.
dirtier about Italian gore, and muddier almost in a literal sense too, because they love those like earth tones on
Oh,
makeup and stuff.
All the
you know?
bugs and
Like
Yeah.
dirt,
even
decay.
the blood. There's something about the blood too. that
It looks
is
like it
different.
stinks. It looks like it stinks in Italian movies.
It does. Yeah. Even when it's funny because like if you watch an American movie and they cut to a bad practical shot, I feel like you're more likely to be like, oh wow, look, a dummy. When I watch,
Dude,
any
I
of these
love the
Italian
dummy
movies and it
drops.
clearly cuts to a dummy, my mind doesn't lose it. My mind doesn't go, oh, a dummy. I just go, oh yeah, this is it. Here we go. But Fulci, to anybody who hasn't gotten into Fulci, I think it's important to go into these movies with a little bit of context and a little bit of understanding that story is not the purpose here. It's not.
No.
There was never a time when, or not during the Gates trilogy, not during the Beyond, House by the Cemetery, City of the Living Dead. Not at no point during this trilogy did they care about story. And Fulci is on record multiple times saying they were never about really telling a story. They were just trying to create crazy image after crazy image. And a lot of the Italian films were aesthetic. They went for a they went for the visual and they
Right.
achieved that.
Mhm.
They do great job at that. But when people are like, "Oh yeah, I can't follow the story," I'm kind of like, "Are you supposed to?" Like
There's like a loose narrative, I feel like, to it. It's almost like you're watching like a dream sequence, or I guess more of a nightmare sequence, but you can't forget Fabio Frizzi's score for this film.
Yeah.
Is like
Yeah.
S tier when it comes to just
Yeah.
elevating the movie that much more. It's I don't know. There's
Yeah,
something about
that the atmosphere that he brings to the films
Mhm.
for all those films.
Well, the plots of Italian movies, especially Fulci, are always like they introduce whatever, here's the beginning of the plot, and then they wrap it all up at the end very quickly. Like it's almost like, New York
Yeah.
Ripper is like, hey, there's a killer. And then in the last 5 minutes, they're like, oh, this was the killer. This is why he sounded like that. Nothing in the middle. Like,
Mhm.
it just went into many different directions and never followed any of it. He
Yeah.
does. Yeah, but that guy's the best at shooting eyes, man.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, it's
nobody
so
shoots
creepy.
nobody shoots wet women in raining cars than Dario Argento. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Weird
The
thing.
first thing I thought about was Tenebrae.
Yeah,
Well,
like-
that's what I was going to bring up. You talked about kind of the what's the word I'm looking for? Just not the artistic, maybe the artistic, but the way it looks, the beauty of the actual shot. I think Tenebrae is like a perfect example of that.
Dude, Tenebrae. Look, we're gonna spin off again. Tenebrae.
Here it goes.
The most beautiful moment of the movie is a woman getting her arm lopped off and spraying blood onto a white wall. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
incredible. Like nobody, you could give that exact scene to any American director. It wouldn't be able to touch the way Argento shot it. It wouldn't be able to touch it.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly. And it's funny because like I've been kind of dabbling a little bit more in like what you would call, I guess, like modern art house cinema, whatever, where there's not a lot of story and it's very surreal. And there's almost like it was a Skinamarink.
Skinamarink.
Yeah, it's almost like it doesn't when it's done on purpose, it loses that charm where it's like Fulci. It's like this guy was just making what he wanted, and it works so damn well. You know what I mean?
He was just having fun. Was all what
Yeah.
he was doing.
Yeah, I mean, City of Living Dead is a bona fide classic, man.
I would say that this trilogy, just as a whole, I just feel like it's like the perfect trilogy as far as horror movies go. At least
Yeah.
for me personally speaking, it's probably my favorite trilogy.
I feel like it's kind of hard to split them up and like have 3 separate conversations because they're all, to me, if you gave me like this 4-hour movie and you were like, oh, here's this movie, and it was these 3 movies just loosely tied in somehow. Like there are times genuinely when I'll be like thinking of The Beyond, and then all of a sudden a scene from House by the Cemetery like gets in the middle of it, and I'm like, wait, hold on, what movie's that from? Like what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like City of Living. When I was thinking about City of Living Dead for this, I started thinking of something, and I was like, wait, no, that's from The Beyond. You know, they're all in the same vein.
Yeah, and I sometimes get that way, especially with Argento earlier films. They seem to kind of congeal with each other, you know, and same with these.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many moments where I confuse Deep Red, Bird with Crystal Plumage, and like I get them all, you know, mixed up. I even sometimes will be watching one, and I'm like, oh fuck, I thought this was from the other movie. Like,
Joey in the chat mentioned bringing up Inferno. You guys a fan?
dude.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's
I
another
got to
great
be
one.
100% honest. I have never seen Inferno.
Oh, it's wild.
Yeah,
It's gonna take you
Inferno.
a few watches. Sorry, I'm trying to fix my camera, but I hated it like the first 6 times I watched it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
if I
like-
remember correctly, Christian, I think you said you didn't like Phenomena either, or at least that cut, I should say.
No, I'm a creepers guy. Get me in, get me out.
Dude, I just watched the 16-minute cut. Is that the Phenomena cut? Whatever
It's
the one
got-
it's like.
yeah, there's an
whatever's
international.
long.
Yeah, there's a theatrical cut, an international cut, and then that super long. The international cut I think is the longest cut.
Yeah, that movie drags, dude. Like, because I always remember watching the Creepers cut, and I was like, let me watch the longer one. I've never seen it, and I got halfway through, and I was like, Jesus Christ, we're still like we hit 88 minutes, and I was like, oh my god, there's still 20 friggin' minutes to this movie, like 30 minutes almost of this movie. I'm like, oh my god, it just kept going.
It's not to get too far off topic, but Inferno is definitely visually gorgeous. I will say it requires a little bit more patience compared to some of other Argento films.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll have to
So-
check it out.
My question to you guys is in the
needs a
pantheon
4K.
of in the pantheon, when we're talking about these movies, we're trying to let people know like what part they play, why is it so important, why do we tell you this is necessarily viewing. If you had to say to somebody, you have to watch City of Living Dead because one sentence, how do you pitch it?
I mean, it's essential Italian horror. Like this probably, I would say between this or Zombie would be my first pick to recommend to someone if you're trying to get into that. I guess you could also make a case for Suspiria as well, but as far as Fulci goes,
Yeah, I go ahead. Sorry, Christian.
I'll keep it short and sweet. I'd say it's fucked.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'd keep it that simple, man. That usually gets him anyway.
Yeah,
Pure shock value. You just have to watch it. Just go watch it.
Yeah, doesn't make sense, but it's gory goodness throughout.
Yeah, it's like the best way. I feel like that's Italian films in general, though. Every time, I always will like watch a movie I've never seen, an Italian horror movie I've never seen, and I'm like posting it on Instagram, and I'm like, what do I say? I'm like, I want to say something, that sounds, like, oh, let me really sell this. But sometimes I'm just like, I don't know, just put it on. Don't
You know
tell
what
you.
this reminds me of is the term popcorn flick. This is an Italian horror popcorn flick to me. You can watch it, turn your brain off, and
puking in the popcorn, bro.
yeah,
Well,
man. I'm
that's
thinking blood, tears, and the popcorn.
not,
Bugs,
I don't mean you got to
bro.
eat popcorn, but
The maggot swarm.
gosh,
Bro, I don't know what life is like watching a movie without popcorn. It's a hard thing to do. Love
Now,
popcorn.
are you guys big pop? Off topic, then we'll move on. You guys big popcorn in the movie theater people, or
What'd you say? Halloween 2?
So
when watching Halloween 2?
so let me paint this picture for you guys real quick. I saw Jurassic World Rebirth on opening day, right? It was like the matinee showing, so it's like 10 a.m. And I'm comfortably in my seat in the theater, and I have with me a XL bucket of popcorn because it was the only free size that they would give with the goddamn popcorn bucket. On the armrest next to me is my T-Rex popcorn bucket, which I faced to the movie screen because I was like, well, clearly he's got to see. And I had
You guys gotta watch this.
I had Jaws Hey Dudes on, and like a group of little kids walked by me and all gave me a look I had never. So yes, popcorn at the movie theater, 100%, never miss it.
That's incredible.
Hey man, listen.
Oh, I want to go to this theater. I go to movies every Monday because my theater gives away free popcorn on Mondays.
You know, Joey, if you bring a weapon, you can get free. Nuts.
What?
Every 7 days almost.
You get free popcorn every.
It's just a little hack for you.
The movie theaters don't want you to know this.
Oh man,
That's incredible.
what's going on, William?
What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
All right, well, I think it's time we move on. Let's see, what do we've got next?
Oh, it's Christian's turn.
Christians, and I know I've already had a couple people in the chat bring this up, so you got to sell this one, Christian.
So, all right. So when it comes to what are some of the most important movies, I genuinely feel like Friday the 13th is one of the most important domino pieces of all time. I think when you look at what happened in the 80s, the last domino piece that needed to fall to create the huge trend was Friday.
Mhm.
It's no secret that, they made it based off of the success of Halloween. And without Halloween, of course, there would be no Friday. Sean Cunningham and Victor Miller would be the first people to tell you that. But Halloween, just on its own, I don't think we would have had the slasher craze, because what Friday the 13th is a blend between Halloween and Dawn of the Dead. That's what it is. It's literally Sean Cunningham saying we're gonna get the guy that did the effects on Dawn because that movie was so big, and we're gonna do a movie like Halloween. We're gonna put the two together, and I think Friday is the actual blueprint for what created the slasher genre that we know from 80 to about 84 when it was super popular. And when I would watch these movies, I mean, I'm a really big Friday fan. I love it as much at this point as Nightmare on Elm Street. Collecting Friday is the most fun. I literally love collecting anything Friday the 13th. But if anybody goes to my channel and looks up old rankings from me, I'd have the original at the bottom. And it's funny because we're talking about Italian horror movies and things like this. And I'd say probably four years ago, after I had gotten into Italian films big time, because I haven't even been into Italian horror movies that long, maybe since about 2018 when I really started watching them. But I swear, whenever I started watching Italian stuff and watching movies that are, inherently atmospheric and they don't move super quick and this and that, and they're movies that you have to just really turn off the lights, let it invade the room, creep out of the TV. I would go back after all that and I would watch the original Friday, which I would always skip too. I'd always just like watch, I don't know, 7. Like I feel like 7 is one you could always just throw on whenever you feel like. But man, I went back and I was like, oh my God, I love the original Friday. And now it's my second favorite. It hasn't beaten part 4 yet, but I think the original Friday is a genuinely well-made, atmospheric slasher film. I love everything about it. I love the soundtrack. I love the fact that there is not even a shred of a hint that it's the mama the whole time. It's
Mhm.
I don't know. It's pretty damn suspenseful for a movie where you can't even guess on who it is. It's not even you don't even get a hint about it. So, and I love the atmosphere of New Jersey. To me, I'm so glad that Crystal Lake is actually filming there because that's one of the most important things to me. I could go on, but yeah, I think Friday is a movie that betters with age, and I got to see it in the theater earlier this year, and I didn't think it could be any better. But when you see it big on TV, a big screen, it's amazing. So that's
Mhm.
me. Yeah, I was somebody that thought this movie was trash and boring when I was younger, but I just think it constantly betters with age, and I think it's one of the most iconic movies of the 80s, if not the most. I think without this, you take this domino piece out of the way, there's no telling what would have happened. So,
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
I
Definitely.
think if Halloween is the explosion, Friday the 13th is the shockwave that caused all the damage. You know what I mean? Like it blew up, and Halloween, or what Halloween started inspiring them to do Friday the 13th, and Friday the 13th going on to then
Yeah.
really kick off the craze. And then it's funny because like I admire Friday the 13th. I love Friday the 13th Part 2.
Oh yeah.
I think Friday 13th Part 2 like really solidified what Friday 13th started and really set the course. Um I never forget getting the DVD for the first Friday 13th and having the big unrated slash on. I can't remember what Friday 13th copy it was. But it was like just obsessed with having this because the art was so good. It was so ominous. And then it's like you get the reveal of who's the killer, and it's so shocking. It's the last person that you expect. It's like this sweet, innocent.
Mhm.
So,
It's out of left field for
Well,
sure.
that twist that Betsy Palmer gives in that movie is chilling, for sure.
yeah, it absolutely is. And then, I mean, the ending scene with the canoe is like,
Yeah.
at that time, I think even that, you gain inspiration from what Brian De Palma did with Carrie with that last minute jump scare at the I call it the grave site, but of the last site for Carrie. That scared the shit out of me. And then Jason jumping out of the lake at the end and grabbing her out of the canoe scared the shit out of me even more. And then you don't know what's going on because she wakes up and she's in the hospital and she's like, "What about the little boy?" And they're like, "We didn't find a little boy." And the movie ends and you don't know what you don't know what was real. You don't know anything, man. And I love that.
and by the way, I mean, I see people talk about this. That's a dream sequence at the end. Jason was
Yeah.
not really.
Yeah.
He's not. It's that he was not real because people are like, how did he grow? Well, it's a dream.
Mhm.
It's a dream. He's not real in the first movie. So I
Well, I
just want
actually
to say
think
that.
I think Friday 13th 09 makes more sense with having Jason older and witnessing the killing of his mom. You know what I
It's
mean?
like putting yeah.
Say
But
what you will about that movie, but I
I'm a
think
fan. I'm a
yeah.
fan.
Yeah,
I
like
think
that
Derek
one.
Mears, if they do another Friday, legitimately do one, he'd be my first pick to do Jason again. I'd love to have him back.
Yeah. And think about like, I mean, Kevin Bacon is in the first Friday. His whole career launched off of Friday 13th. He's got an incredible kill scene.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that's one of the best. That's like a franchise best for me, man.
Yeah.
That arrow coming up from underneath, and then
Oh yeah.
even the story of the blood
Mhm.
getting kind of caught up in the tube and just
After
grabbing
blowing
it,
it.
and blowing it.
That's
Yeah.
one of the interesting scenes of the lesser the picture quality, the better the blend.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing this on 4K and then in the theater, which I believe was probably just the Paramount 4K that they did when I saw it, and it's pretty funny seeing it really blown up because they didn't
Yeah,
match the skin tones. But if you watch it on VHS or Laserdisc or CED, it's flawless. So that's one of those instances where picture quality is not kind.
yeah.
Yeah. Steve, where's that VHS at? I was hoping. There it is.
Got you right here.
Look at him. And
In
I
my
should
butt.
say, because I have my poster right here, that's one of the greatest horror movie posters. That's top 5 greatest horror movie posters of all time.
Oh, there's something
right there.
just so creepy about it.
It's a beautiful metaphor of she's got them right where she wants them and they don't
Hmm.
realize it. Like, it's a metaphor. It's probably one of the best artworks I've ever seen. So yeah,
Yeah.
I keep my poster of that up at all times.
Yeah.
There's like a certain level of like ambience and atmosphere that you get with this film above all the other ones. Like there's these quiet moments that
It's
happen.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's there like something about the camp, just the gorgeous shots that you get, it really establishes just how remote they are, isolated. And basically, you obviously don't find till way later that Mrs. Voorhees has been quietly essentially stalking them. But there's just something that's just so effective about the first one where I don't even necessarily have to watch the sequels. I could watch this on its own and really appreciate this and just how perfect of a slasher it is.
Mhm.
I think too, like there's moments like when Annie gets picked up and the Jeep is just slowly speeding up and speeding up and speeding up and she's freaking out.
Oh,
She's like, "Hey, pull over!" Like that's terrifying. It's in the middle of the day, and she's being
yeah.
picked up by somebody, and that Jeep is
Yeah.
flying to the point where she has to jump out.
I should mention this. You were talking about you like 2 in the Friday films, in my opinion, but I really don't think you guys will disagree with this. 2 is the only movie that has the same feeling as part 1.
Mm-hmm.
Every movie after
Yeah.
that, you watch a frame of it and you'll know, oh, that's part 4, 6, 7. You literally cannot confuse them. But the feeling of part 2 is probably what Halloween 2, in a sense, should have done in that aspect rather than being a moment after the first
Mhm.
film. Because Friday 2 has, and I know that, Steve Miner was, Sean's kind of deal, but like that, they feel the atmosphere and tone and feel of the movie is identical.
Mhm.
And it's ironically, that's what makes 2 unique, is it's the only sequel that feels like a previous entry. So if anything,
Yeah.
I will double feature 1 and 2.
Hell
You
yeah.
you don't have to convince me of that.
What would you
If it-
say is how would you compare the tone between 1 and 2, and let's just stick with 3 and 4 within from there to the final chapter?
Um,
Like
it's kind of
what stands out about each of them, or what?
What sets them apart from, because Christian had said, 1 and 2 are like basically both sides of the same coin, right? They're the same. But 3 and 4, you could tell there's totally different stuff. I wanted to see what you guys thought comparing them.
I think if you look at it on a gray scale, 1 and 2 are really, really dark shades of gray, and 3, I'd even would say, gets even darker, and then 4 is like pitch black. And maybe a grayscale is not a great way to word this. Like, you can, there's just a there's a you there's a feeling with each film that you don't get from watching any of the other ones at all. Like
Mhm.
1 and 2, they
Yeah.
feel like your mood and your temperament when you're watching 1 feels exactly the same in 2. 3 is like a ghost story to me
Mhm.
because Jason moves. 4 is mean and visceral.
Yeah.
Mhm.
5 is obviously extremely funny and sleazy.
Mhm.
Mhm.
6 is like, one of you said popcorn flick. If 6 is
Mhm.
not a popcorn flick, I have no idea what is.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
should be the definition. 7 is the made for TV one, and I love that about it. It literally
Mhm.
feels like it's made for TV. And 8 is like, I don't know, 8 is just, it
It's like the
feels like,
Canadian Friday 13th.
yeah, or and it feels like you just got home from renting it from the video store because it feels straight to video in a sense.
Yeah.
But each film, and even Jason Goes to Hell and the rest of them, none of them have the same identical feelings besides 1 and
Yeah.
2.
Mhm.
1 and 2, you could watch them back to back, and it's like this perfect through line.
But here's what's funny though. When I recently rewatched part 2, outside of the opening scene, Friday the 13th part 2 can exist without the first movie.
Sure.
They
Yeah,
tell
'cause
the
you got
story of
you got
Jason.
the recap and
Yeah. They tell the legend of, if you remove that whole beginning scene, if you said if part 2 was the first Friday the 13th movie and they were like, hey, there's just, they talk about this legend, and the legend is this Jason Voorhees, it works just as well.
Mm-hmm.
And part 2 is a meaner movie than the first. I mean, the fact that you have a character in a wheelchair who gets hit in the face with a blade and then rolls downstairs is sick, and it builds upon Friday the 13th in all the right ways. I think it takes it to the next level without losing the roots of the original, and it does that
I
so
love part
well.
2 so much.
I think the characters too, the characters work incredibly well. Her pulling up in the broken down the Beetle
Yeah.
that's popping and exploding its way in, there's great humor. You like the characters, like everything feels very natural. And, Sackhead Jason is still one of my favorite iterations of Jason Voorhees. Yeah, I think 1 and 2 go together perfectly.
I think the two of them they captured the essence of like the campground slasher so well, like, because I mean you get further outside of that, and I feel like, kind of going back to what Christian was saying, they feel less and less like these are a definitive camp slasher. Like, the environment definitely captures that. I don't know, I think those two you could watch back to back and they just feel like so similar in tone.
But also too, there's this weird thing where like every Friday the 13th movie feels like, well, it's like it takes place at a camp. The camp in Friday the 13th part 1 and 2 feels just so ingrained in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like, oh, the setting is a camp. It's like, no, this is Friday the 13th. Because no other, I mean, part 3, it's barely a camp. You know what I mean? 4 is not a camp. All right, right? Like 5.
Is
The
it?
rest
It's more of like what, like
it's like a sea. It's like a lakeside house.
like
Yeah.
a rental,
Like,
A rental.
an Airbnb, I guess.
Yeah.
and then Jason Goes to Hell is the only thing at a camp is when they're in the very beginning. Which I love. Jason Goes to Hell. I also just watched Jason Takes Manhattan with the commentary and had a lot of fun with that. More fun than I've had with that movie in a long time.
Jason Goes to Hell is the last Friday movie to me that feels truly vintage.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it feels so part of that golden era.
Mhm.
The way the movie looks, the diner, the way it's just so vintage. I don't know how anybody can hate it. I really don't.
There's so much like little charm, like them making the Jason burgers.
I do that
Yeah.
I do that all the time here. Nobody sees it or knows it. Like I don't film it, but like I literally do it all the time.
Yeah, there's just like little touches to that movie that I love. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know how you begin to go on a journey of horror without Friday the 13th. I mean, if you watched every movie on this list and you skip Friday the 13th and then you move on to 1981, it's like
It's impossible.
What are you doing?
you skip chapter 1. Like, what do you know what I mean? How do you understand any of this without knowing where it came from?
Yeah. Do you guys think the what was I? Oh, the franchise. Do you think it would have been as iconic if let's say Pamela did not die and her character stayed through the films?
Hell no.
No, it's the driving force for Jason.
I mean,
If
dude,
she's-
people know Jason Voorhees and have never seen a Friday the 13th movie. I mean, the guy has transcended his own genre into a pop
He's his
culture
own
legend.
brand now. Jason.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't even know the title. I just knew Jason. I
Yeah.
didn't even know Friday the 13th. But no,
Yeah.
there's no way in hell. It all happened beautifully and mistakenly the way it needed to. But there's just no chance in hell Pamela would have. It just is what it is.
Which is, it's so funny to me that Sean Cunningham was like, "Oh, we have a title and let's make an ad for it." You know what I mean? And then we'll get funding. So they released this.
That's what Canon Films did for everything.
Yeah.
They would sell a title.
Mhm.
and have date, but they would push it further. They would sell a movie with Charles Bronson attached to it before Charles Bronson even he saw the poster for 12 to Midnight before, and it was sold before he even knew what he agreed to it. But that's how they operate. But yeah, that's how it's just, man, it's insane. It's funny because I'll watch these documentaries about Friday, and like the guy that funded it was like going to put his money in like a mini mall or some shit like that day. And Sean called him up hours before he went to go do it. So just imagine like that
Who would have thought?
butterfly of yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
But it's like, I
insane.
mean, it's like the lightning just hit, man. What a great title. You know, my God, Friday the 13th, like what a great poster. Like, and it just hit everything that I feel like it needed at that exact moment. It almost feels like a year too early or a year too late, it wouldn't have struck the same chord. You know what I mean? It's like this is perfect, is exactly when this had to happen.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy what took off from here, you know, which as we continue on through the years over the next couple of months, like it's really hard to not to talk about something and be like and not say clearly influenced by Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we've covered a lot with Friday the 13th, and then I think if any of the ones we talk about, I think this is probably I would say it's the most iconic. Probably the one that if you haven't watched any of these movies, this is the one that you stop what you're doing and go watch this.
I also highly recommend Saturday the 14th. That's also another great.
Yes.
It's great.
I love that movie.
Yeah, like it's fantastic. Please also watch Saturday the 14th.
All right, guys. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and move on to November 7th. This one, I love this movie. We were talking about Stanley Kubrick's The Shining.
Ooh. Shining.
Let's go.
You want to talk about atmosphere? This movie has got it throughout the whole film. You basically follow the Torrance family, Jack Torrance. He takes a job at the Overlook Hotel during their off season. Excuse me. And he kind of is the caretaker when he goes to basically interview for the job, but also he already knows he's going to take it, is that there happened to be a murder that took place a few years back. And there's something they talk about it, that the hotel, it's almost a cabin fever.
Mm.
But what I think is great about this is, like I said, not only the atmosphere, Jack Nicholson's performance, his subtle looking straight into the camera in the whole interview scene, I think is phenomenal. The gold room when he's talking and he's sitting there, ordering his drink. Now, yes, this is a haunted hotel film, but it goes deeper and it deals with family trauma, with alcoholism. I mean, there's so much you can dive into this. And also the cinematography. I mean, the tracking shots, the opening scene of them going over the lake and then following their car as they're driving
it's
up.
beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, every frame is unforgettable. I mean, I'm still shocked, and I was blown away. We watched it last night, of the scene where Wendy and what's his son's name? Danny Torrance are in the maze, and then it jumps back to Jack Nicholson, Jack Torrance, and he's standing over the model of the maze, and that shot of them slowly over the maze going down, and it cuts right into them going through the maze. I mean, it gives it an unnatural, dreamlike feel to it.
For sure.
But there's also some grounded elements about it. I mean, I think Shelley Duvall's character is a very kind of a grounded character in of herself. I love this movie. I think it's, as much as Stephen King hates it, which it's his right to hate it, it's far away from what his book is. But you know what? I think this is a perfect example of sometimes not everything taken directly from a book straight to screen is going to work perfectly. And I think the changes and the chances that Stanley Kubrick took on this film, aces.
Have you Have you guys read The Shining?
Mm-hmm.
Have you? Okay.
No.
I've watched that crappy '90s TV movie that Mick Garris did too.
It's really hard to like. It's so different. Like it's almost like a total. It could almost be like a totally just different. It's crazy, man. But to deny the power of Kubrick as a filmmaker,
Mm.
it would be insane, man. And the pressure that he put on this cast and this crew to perform to where he needed them to
Yeah.
was insane. I mean, this guy almost single-handedly like broke Shelley Duvall.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I mean, how many takes did they take for that?
The stair scene.
Yeah.
Attic, I can't remember offhand, but it's nuts, man. And what's funny too is like how much influence The Shining still has on modern day genre stuff. I mean, anybody who does the shot of, I mean, Sinners just did it. The lower shot up on the door, where a character kind of leans their head on the door. It's like from the bottom shooting up. That's Kubrick. The Substance really took a lot
Oh, yeah.
from The
Oh,
Shining.
yeah.
That Psycho. Bunch of
Yeah,
other
dude.
films.
So much, man. I mean, like, and The Shining is like an event of a movie. It's 140 some minutes. It's really long. The sound design is incredible when Danny's riding his trike and he's going from the carpet to the hardwood to the carpet.
This the
hardwood.
sound. It's like it trances you in. It's weird, but it does such a good job.
Yeah, it's incredible, man. I mean, technically, this movie is perfect.
Oh, I agree. Whoever thought of putting Jack Nicholson in this hotel is a psychopath. Well, right off the bat, you knew something was up with him.
That's why I love it.
Mhm.
It's one
Yeah.
thing to have a happy, good dad that goes there and he gets. To me, that sounds cliche. The fact that he was already unhinged and at the brink of just losing it, he hated his family. I was
Mhm.
like, this is, to me, that's what makes it so good.
Yeah.
I love that. I love everything about what Kubrick did.
I think that's what makes that, like, I believe the progression of Jack Nicholson as a father much better in this than I do James Brolin in Amityville Horror. You know what I mean? Because he's like a nice guy and everything when they get into the house, and then the house changes him and he starts getting
Mhm.
mean until they're at the end of the house. The first moment you see Jack Torrance in The Shining, you're like, oh, there's something fucking up here.
Yeah, he's just that.
You know?
He's just like, he's like got no patience. He lives
Yeah.
constantly, and I love it. That's
And
to
even
me,
sorry, not to cut you off. I was saying even more so if you read the book, you know, when Danny's explaining what his father did to him when he's waiting outside for his dad to get home and talking about how big of a piece of shit he was and how he was just starting to get back on the right track when he accepted this job.
right?
It makes it even worse, you know?
So in the book, because I haven't read the book, is Jack Torrance that good? I don't want to say good of a dad, but you know what I mean. More of a well put together father than he is in this one. Right off the bat, he's like, one annoyance away from literally killing his family.
Well, the book establishes kind of what Jack's tendencies as a father. It establishes them better going into the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It goes into the events of kind of some things that happened to him or happened to the family before accepting this job.
Got it.
So it gives you a little context. That way, when he does start going, it kind of harkens back and says like, oh, this was already there. It laid dormant when he was trying to do better. And then the hotel brought it back out. Stories like this are always hard, man, because it's always like, is the place feeding the monster, or was the monster always there? Like, you know what I mean? It, but right from the get-go of this movie, you're like, yeah, something's wrong here, man. Like, this guy is.
Yeah, I think with the book, I felt like it did a better job of like slowing his slow descent into madness. Whereas I feel like with what Chris was saying, in the Shining movie, it's a little bit more like evident that there's obviously something not quite right. especially the minute that he takes the job, and then just things start spiraling out of control. I feel like the book was able to draw that out, obviously for the sake of it, being
Mhm.
a longer format, but um, yeah,
Yeah.
there's some subtle differences as far as how they approach it.
Yeah, you know what I noticed not the first time, I'm sorry. Yesterday when I watched it. I never noticed it, and it's funny. This movie has so much rewatchability because you notice things. I feel like every time that I didn't
Oh
notice
yeah.
before. Perfect example is the scene where Wendy Torrance is making his breakfast.
Mhm.
She
Mhm.
walks in, and half of that scene you're seeing through the reflection of the mirror in the room, and
Mhm.
then it does a switch on you, and then it flips it. And I think that's a perfect example what Kubrick was doing, just making you off kilter, making you okay. You're used to a rhythm, and then he just completely flips it on you. Now you're uneasy. Now you're
Mhm.
confused, right? And it messes with you.
Kubrick had such a great understanding of space and of setting. And this is why I love what Mike Flanagan did with the ending of Doctor Sleep, where in the beginning of the movie, all those shots of that, I don't know, what would you describe that room that he was writing in? Is that like a common room with the steps,
Yeah,
with the
like a
stairs
common
in it?
area.
Yeah, what do they call it? The Colorado Lounge or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
All the shots are real wide. It's this big sense of scale. And then as the movie goes on, everything gets tighter. He brings everything tighter and tighter and tighter to where when you get to the scene on the staircase where he's following Wendy up the steps, everything's shot then real tight.
Mhm.
And it almost gets more and more claustrophobic as the hotel is being snowed in. You know what I mean? It's a cool thing that he does, and everything with the old woman in the bathtub is like it fucked me up for life. You know what I mean? I mean, come on, that was that was terrifying. The bear costume, you know what I
Oh, I
mean?
remember
Oh,
that
yeah.
that that scene. I was like, "What the fuck?
I
Like,
don't
what
think
is going
anybody
on?"
knows what that was. Like nobody. I was just reading some list, and that scene was like number one of like scenes we still can't explain.
It's so
It's like
jarring.
I love it.
Yeah.
it's so weird, man. It's so strange.
When you breathe in winter, there's all the smoke that comes out of your mouth, and yet there's none of that in the whole maze scenes. It's because it's all a dream.
It's like that's like the one thing that people who like want to take a stab at Kubrick. That's like the one thing they're like, oh, there's no, you can't see their breath when he's in the maze at the end. You're like, yeah, I
I'm
get it.
sure.
But
I'm sure if Kubrick was alive, he'd tell you there's a reason behind that.
yeah. Or he'd be like, fuck off, just watch a movie.
Yeah.
Fuck off, you know what I mean?
The movie does such a great job with really dialing in the isolation, the madness that comes with it. I mean, the maze in a lot of ways is really us seeing how, Jack Nicholson's becoming so unhinged. It's I don't know. This movie, like you guys were saying earlier, I mean, you could watch this countless times, and there's always gonna be new details that you pick up on each and every time you're watching it.
Mhm.
And I do want to say, just to give it, give it its due. The Mike Flanagan Doctor Sleep, the sequel to The Shining, which is kind of like on one end it's adapting King's novel, on the other end it's kind of repairing the ending of the original Shining, and in its changes to the ending. In my opinion, is equally as good as The Shining, especially the director's cut, the 3-hour director's cut. I love that movie. I think it follows adult Danny Torrance so well. Rose the Hat is incredible. She's one of my favorite villains in a Stephen King story. I want people to watch that too.
Yeah, no, he did a great job of sticking to the popular one, right? Stanley Kubrick's, but also nodding to and getting the approval too of King. He did a really good job at towing that line, I thought.
Yeah, and I think it was nice for somebody to go back and kind of fix it for King in a way, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Still bring it back in a way that was incredibly respectful to Kubrick's film, you know?
100%.
So,
Yeah.
and the 4K looks incredible, The Shining, just saying
Oh.
too.
Oh.
The 4K looks
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, it's a perfect film. I love this movie. The music. The tracking shot, everything. I think it's just a great movie.
Yeah, dude, again, simplicity, the music, just the bow, bow, bow. It's so effective, dude.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
so good.
It just sets the stage for just the insanity we're about to deal with. Like, you feel like there's this lingering sense of doom that's coming with it from the opening shot onwards. Like, the movie, the score just has such like a great way of like really establishing that and carrying it through all the way to the very end.
Yeah. I just had to throw that in there. I'm sorry.
So whenever it was a couple years ago that I posted about Dr. Sleep, I'll have to go back and find it. Somebody commented on the picture I posted of Dr. Sleep and said, I never wanted to be a little kid who played baseball worse in my life. And I never got it until like a month later. I was like, that's fucked. I don't like that. No, but I do want to say the opening shots of The Shining are iconic. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. That shot that they shoot going over the water, and then you start to see the car come in, and then it just follows them.
It's
the way up
so
to the
goddamn
hotel.
good,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah. Now in a day where like every horror movie starts with drone shots of a car driving, I think this is the best. Best of the
Mhm.
best, you know.
Yeah. No, I love it. I think it's a great film. All right, guys. Well, I think we've got one more on our list to talk about. And I think, Chris, you're going to be closing us out with this one.
Why I got stuck with like the two sickest ones on the list.
Yeah, you sicko.
You know?
Hey, I'm just saying you picked these. So
Before Christian falls asleep.
Oh, sorry.
No, dude, you're good. So this movie, I hate to say, like, I didn't find it till so much later on. Like, there was something to this movie that just it stayed away from me. It always stayed out of my radar, and I feel like I knew the poster long before I knew what the movie was. And I'm talking about Bill Lustig's Maniac. Never in my opinion, never will you get a more accurate representation of sleazy New York in the 80s than you will in Maniac. Like, and when you learn of, Bill Lustig literally like growing up on these streets and coming from this lifestyle and understanding how to shoot the streets of New York in a way that was so much more grounded than what Hollywood was showing you. It's incredibly eerie. Like, the city in Maniac is just as scary as Joe Spinell is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Again, just for people to know, like, this is part of that extreme side of things. Like, I don't think, on a Sunday after church, you're gonna go home and be like, yeah, let me throw on Maniac.
Well, you know what's funny is I watched this like literally before we did the stream, and my wife, she liked the movie.
Oh,
yeah.
And that surprised me. So she's a therapist, and so she saw it through the angle of
That makes
his
total
character
sense to me.
development.
That makes
And
every bit of sense in the world to me.
she's like, I could go to court for him, is basically what she's trying to say. Like, I get and I could see why he is the way he is, and it makes total sense. And I'm like, yeah, I guess, yeah, that makes sense.
almost as like a character study of him.
Dude.
Yeah.
But the hour and 28-minute runtime of Maniac, I feel like sums it up so much better than like these 10-hour long Netflix shows do.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It doesn't overbloat it. It doesn't overcomplicate it. It's super easy to understand what's happening and to understand not fully like where the character is at, but you get what's going on so quickly.
Mhm.
Plus, I mean, we've talked about Tom Savini with Friday the 13th. This movie has one of the best head explosions.
That's besides the subway scene, that is the best scene to me.
Yep.
Because but what makes it scary to me is not the gunshot, but the way he jumps up on the hood of the car all of a sudden.
It's
When I saw it, I hadn't seen an inch of the movie before, so I went into it
Mhm.
totally blind. I was like, "Holy shit!"
there's something primal about the way he gets up on the hood.
It's like he's a like a bobcat or something. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's so much like hunting down prey. It's amazing. I think I
Yeah.
did like a top 10 slashers like 2 years ago, and I think this was my number. Yeah, I think this is my number 2. Like number 1 and number 2. I think this is a masterpiece.
Mhm.
I love this movie so much.
Yeah.
It's funny because we were talking about the New York Ripper earlier, and I feel like that these share a lot of the same DNA, just with that grittiness of like New York, just kind of like the depravity that comes with a killer like this. And I don't know why this movie always, in a lot of ways, kind of reminds me of Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. The way that
Mhm.
we're in a lot of ways like the point of view behind the killer and the motivation or somewhat motivations that are being used for the killer. But yeah, this movie's definitely definitely not an easy watch. Kind of harkening back to Cannibal Holocaust in a different sense.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's this movie is a prime example of your past defines you and creates what you become, right?
Mhm.
And it even is evident. You see it that he wants someone that's a rock that'll stay with him the whole time, and he sees that as these mannequins that he dresses up.
Mhm.
Right? I mean, it's so well done.
Well, you get the sense too. It's like I don't know, in this like modern day age of trying to like adapt and tell stories of like true crime and of killers and all that stuff. I feel like sometimes it glorifies the wrong thing. Joe Spinell's performance in this is incredible to the point where like you truly I think that there are glimpses of a really good person in him and he just
Mhm.
can't like he's stuck. You know what I mean? It's almost like
Yeah.
he gets taken over and it's horrifying like when he goes into the I call them fits, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But when it gets back, you feel really bad for him, man. Like I know it's easy to kind of like for a lot of people to classify Joe Spinell as like a B movie exploitation, you know what I mean? Like guy, but between Maniac and especially I think the last horror film,
Mm.
Mhm.
That's another
he
good
is
one.
dude, he's remarkable, man. He is so good.
He sells it so much in that scene when he goes to pay respects to his mom.
Yeah.
And he says the rosary and he sits there and he says that. Then he just starts to get those headaches and it spins. And you could tell he's fighting it, he's trying not to. But like Larissa said, he's seeking connection through revenge.
Mhm. And the ending, I would be curious at how Larissa interprets the ending with like the
Mm.
mannequins tearing. It's almost like
So wild.
it's tearing him apart. You know what I mean? It's to the point where
Mhm.
he's let it fully take over and destroy him.
Mhm.
And the things that he's seeking comfort in are now what's physically tearing him apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's such a crazy idea, and I would be really interested in exploring Maniac much more with Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, and kind of putting them next to each other. You know,
Have y'all seen the remake with
Elijah Wood.
Frodo?
Frodo.
Is that his
No, I
name?
haven't.
You haven't?
Oh, of Maniac. No, I haven't.
Yeah. Dude, it a lot of people think it's better. And
It's
Really?
gnarly.
it's hard to it takes somebody built like him because Joe is kind of a bigger guy, you know.
Right. Yeah.
It takes somebody built like Elijah Wood, and how would somebody that looks like him and has the size or lack thereof, and how would he be able to do the same thing? It didn't trick the audience or make them feel silly for watching a guy as small as him being able to overpower. It's brilliant. It's an amazing remake.
Okay.
Uh, I think IFC has a Blu-ray of it or a
Mhm.
DVD of it. I have a DVD of it from IFC, but it is an absolutely powerhouse remake. It's one of the best, so definitely check it out. I like it
Yeah,
as much as the original.
yeah. I have the IFC Blu-ray. It's really good, man. Like really,
Okay.
it's one of those ones that like I feel like most horror purists would be like, oh, I would never watch a remake of Maniac, but it gets it, man. It really gets it, and it goes for the gusto. It's just as disturbing, man, if not more. It's actually funny now that I think of it. When Jordan, a couple months ago, we were talking about like you watching House That Jack Built. I feel like there's a lot of House That Jack Built in the Maniac remake, especially. It's very similar.
Yeah, that the House That Jack Built. You want to talk about a good serial killer movie?
Oof.
So about
that's a great movie too. Yeah.
talk about a crazy.
That
Yeah, I was
ending
about to say.
yeah.
Yeah, wait till we get to that. You know,
Oh, we'll cover that
in
for
30
sure.
months when we're at House of Jack Built. No, I mean, I think Bill Lustig has to be in a history of horror conversation. You know what I mean? He has to be.
for
And whether
sure.
or not you want to talk about something like Maniac or, you know, even Maniac Cop, which I fucking love Maniac Cop.
The best.
Maniac is just so it feels so grounded and so real. And, you know, clearly I didn't grow up on the streets of 80s New York, but like if you watch enough documentaries,
Yeah.
oh, they're putting out the Maniac remake.
I didn't know
4K.
that, but
Ooh.
that makes me excited. So cool.
Whoa.
I'll wait
All
for
right,
that then.
That'll be a day one if that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great remake, man. I think you should.
Severin is?
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I don't.
It's what
I'm
your
not
boy
saying
Joey.
I'm not saying Joey's wrong, but like that'd be the last company I think could even remotely. Well, IFC has a part. I thought they had a partnership with. I guess they do have a partnership. I thought they had a partnership with Vinegar Syndrome though. Maybe it's Severin and Vinegar Syndrome.
Well, I'm looking here, and this is from Variety. Shutter IFC Films Inc. distribution deal with Severin Films. And that was last year.
I remember it was like 2 or 3 years ago. It was with Vinegar Syndrome. Maybe they dropped that. I don't know if they've ever even put out.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they've even put out anything.
Yeah. Initial titles include Satan's Slaves, Antiviral, which we already got. Baskin, we got. 2012 remake of Maniac, Sisters, and The Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Yeah, that's what I was looking up if Sisters was an IFC release, and it was. Yeah. I'm very much looking forward to that. I'll pick that up day one. I remember not even knowing. I think the Maniac remake was on Netflix years ago, and that's how I found it.
It might still be on there.
Man, I
hope
we
it
get
is. I want to watch
Maniac
that.
Cop 4K at some point for the first one.
Yeah, that needs to come out. I'm sick of having just that Blu-ray and my 4K the other two.
Yeah. No, dude, Maniac is incredible. But again, like, just warning, I don't think you're prepared for what you're getting into, you know. I love the story of Tom Savini talking about casting his own head to then do an effect of him exploding his own head, you know.
Yeah,
it's fucking sick.
It's so like, you know, I think in the exploding head conversation, clearly I think you know, Scanners is always up there,
of course,
that's great. Deadly Friend, I think, could get some recognition for the basket, or is that Deadly Friend with the basketball?
Yeah.
There's when the head blows up. The Dawn of the Dead head explosion to me was always overrated because it's so fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this being darkly lit, the camera being right behind, it's kind of like behind him at like a 45-degree angle. It's so gross, and it's in that really choppy slow motion.
Yeah. Well, what's even more gross about this is compared to this is like Scanners. I mean, it just obliterates, right? You know, this one, there's still pieces you can like chunks that are still there that kind of fall back. It's very disgusting.
I think an interesting, if people are like really diving into this era, an interesting trajectory to watch is the evolution of Tom Savini as a makeup effects artist. Because like watching him go from Dawn of the Dead to Friday the 13th to Maniac and then to the Burning.
Yep.
This guy was making leaps and bounds between projects. You know what I mean? It was incredible. Like to think that the Burning only came 1 year after Friday the 13th, and the complexity of the Burning's effects compared to Friday 13th.
I love the burning.
It's crazy, man. Like the raft, you know, we did a whole podcast episode where we basically talked about the raft scene for 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's incredible, man. And, you know, props to that guy, man. I mean, all of respect to him.
Yep.
The Prowler did have an exploding
Prowler.
head.
That's a good one.
With the Prowler, I always just think of the what do you call it, in the head and the eyes rolling back. What was that? What did he put in her head? What did he stab in the head and the eyes rolled back? What weapon did he use in that? Is that that's the Prowler, right?
It wasn't the pitchfork, was it?
Yeah, I think maybe it was the pitchfork. Yep, Savini. Yep.
Wow.
Good.
All right, guys. Well, any other thoughts on Maniac?
Wild.
It must own. It
Watch
must
with-
own.
Watch it with the whole family.
Yeah.
I will say,
get that Blue Underground release. We're gonna
real.
get-
Yeah, that's a good one.
I will plug that I have it somewhere. Where is it? There is a novelization of Maniac
Ooh.
that just came out.
I didn't buy those because I knew if I got one,
It's a slippery slope.
I'd want to get them all.
Oh, here it is. I found it.
Christian, do you have the Friday the 13th ones?
I wish.
Dude, I can't believe how expensive they are.
Very cool.
Oh,
Very
so this-
cool.
I'm
Hell
sorry.
yeah.
This
This
is
was
driving
just
me
put
nuts
out.
right now. Thank
It's on
you.
Amazon. Oh, there
It's
you go.
like-
I had to do it. It was,
I'm like, am I dyslexic?
It's on Amazon for like $15, and it has a brand new introduction by William Lustig.
oh,
So if you're a fan into reading your favorite movies, give this one a read.
Old Bill
Hell yeah.
Lustig.
Old Bill Lustig.
Yep.
Plus, dude, that tagline. I know we rarely talk about taglines on here, but the tagline, I warned you not to go out tonight.
yeah.
It's money.
Fuck.
Dude, yeah.
So
gross,
grim.
man. Ugh. Dude, 1980, what a banger of a year, man.
It was a daunting task to tackle covering 1980.
Yeah.
That's for
Yep, I
sure.
agree.
I feel like it's going to be hard at every point from here
80s
on out.
on.
Like,
So y'all are doing each year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, the best year is 85. So without a doubt, the absolute best year is 1985.
yeah, so one thing that I would love to do, and you know, once we get through, we're going to be like 37 by the time this series is over. But one thing I would love to do is go back to each year and kind of do like a redux and talk about another set of movies, maybe not as widely known as
Like a
the-
deep cut version.
Yeah,
That would be
yeah.
cool.
Because I feel like we could do so many redos of each year of the 80s and just pick 5-6 more that are equally.
Oh
as
yeah.
good.
I mean, who was it in here? They mentioned quite a bit, and there was a couple in there that I almost brought up. The Changeling, Fade to Black,
Inferno.
Motel Hell, Humanoids from the Deep.
Which Fade to Black.
Oh man.
Fade to
Alligator.
Black is like it's like such a great discovery, dude. Especially like if you're a fan of the Monsters era of like the Universal Monsters era. It's so good, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm considering getting that Scream Factory 4K. I keep thinking about it. I love my Vinegar Syndrome release though. I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm
I
thinking
couldn't
about
bring
it.
myself to do it. I was like,
I-
the Vinegar Syndrome one was so good.
It looks gorgeous. If you put it on a 4K TV and player and you watch
Yeah.
it, you're like, damn.
Yeah, I have the Vinegar Syndrome one. Actually, thanks to you, Christian. That was early on
Yeah.
that you talked about. I picked it up, but I got the Scream Factory one. I still have yet to watch it though.
I'm thinking about it just because I don't know. I know I got that Schwarzenegger film coming, so
End of Days?
that'll be. Yeah.
I can't wait to get that.
Yeah, I'm excited
Yeah.
for that too.
I mean, like just looking at 1980 from a basic Google search, Jesus Christ, Altered States, that's about to get a Criterion release. I'm very excited about that.
Super good movie.
Yeah.
Dude, He Knows You're Alone, Without
good.
Warning.
Yeah. Trash. Trash.
Like
That alien film. Oh, it's garbage.
and Anthropophagus was 1980.
Ah!
Really?
Dude.
Yeah. Dr. Butcher, MD, Eaten Alive. House on the Edge of the Park. Speaking of Ruggero Deodato.
Damn.
It's so much, man. Death Ship, if you want to get into like, Nazi.
I like Death Ship. It's a little slow, but I love the look of that movie.
Yeah.
I got like there was a moment, like I'm looking at it right now. I think that's getting a new release. It might be like Kino or something.
I could see Kino. That feels like a Kino.
But it's called like Scorpion or Code Red, one of those little weird labels. I don't even know if they're around anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I have that,
I feel like it was Code Red. I remember the spine. I don't have it, but I remember seeing it at some point. I can't remember.
Now I'm annoyed. I'm gonna go grab it.
It feels like a Kino title,
What
but
about
like
Christmas Evil, man.
yeah, dude, Christmas Evo, Roman
Jordan, you seen
Scavellini's
that?
Nightmares.
Dude, it's so good.
Christmas Evil?
Yeah, man. Talk about that's a holiday classic.
Yeah. I saw Joey Andrews said Fulci, Zombie came out in 80.
79.
I was going to say, we talked about that in the last episode.
79, brother.
Yeah,
But the US, I think the US, he said was 80. I don't know.
dude, talk about the Jamie Lee Curtis 1980 run of Terror Train, The Fog, and Prom Night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to know one of my favorite movies she's done? It's the one with the 18-wheeler truck. Road Games.
Road Games.
Oh, yeah.
Road Games. That's a good one.
I love that movie so much. I remember I didn't buy the Blu-ray for like the first like 6 months because I was just like, ugh. Because it came out like after all the other kind of Jamie Lee stuff had hit, like Fog and Prom Night had been out, just all that stuff had come out, and they dropped out Road Games. I was like, no, I loved it. I loved that movie so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the director of Road Games also made a great exploitation thriller called Snapshot. It's like saw it a couple days ago.
Who's that? What Richard Franklin was it?
Hold
Who
on, I
was
have it right
that?
here. This release right here has got to be one of my favorites. Yeah,
I have that, brother. That's a good one. Yeah,
Dude. Simon Windsor.
Simon Winter. Yeah. What is that? What do you have right there?
This is a Snapshot.
Snapshot. I was gonna say that don't look
Indicator.
like Road Games. Nice.
Wasn't someone supposed to be releasing Terror Train in 4K? Was that Kino?
Are you talking about the Tubi original Terror Train remake?
Yeah, of course.
That's
Dude,
the one,
I'm not
man.
buying Terror Train anymore. I got the Blu-ray from Scream Factory, and then like years later after that, again. By the way, that Death Ship was Scorpion, but then I think Code Red did a 2K scan of the movie, and then I got that. So like I've already gotten the movie twice on HD. I'm up pass if they ever do a 4K.
I do want to fix something. Richard Franklin did direct Road Games. Simon Windsor was on the crew for it. That's why I got it mixed up.
I knew it.
Own up to my mistake.
I knew it.
Yes.
Dude, how can we
Richard
leave
Franklin.
off Hell of the Living Dead?
Dude, how
Easy.
can we not?
Easy.
How can we not talk about Dr. Butcher MD? The movie
Yeah, man.
rules, bro. That has some of the nastiest gore effects I've ever seen in my life. Like, what's the other title for it? It's Dr. Butcher MD or
Is it eating a lot? No.
Cannibal or fuck.
Zombie Holocaust?
Yes, Zombie
Yep.
Holocaust. Yeah, not as good as Cannibal Holocaust, but
No.
it's a Holocaust.
It pales in comparison.
Nevertheless, it's a Holocaust. So,
Or Lamberto Bava's Macabre. Have you guys seen that?
I haven't.
That's a good one.
I'm in the year of Bava right now. Mother's Day, look, Trauma.
Mm.
The Bogeyman. I remember that one.
Trash.
Dressed to Kill, but that's, I wouldn't consider that like horror like that.
That's a American Jello movie.
Dude, He Knows You're Alone is definitely worth a recommend to see Tom Hanks in a horror movie.
I like that one. Yeah.
Where they were like, oh, we realized, we can't kill him. This guy's great.
Oh, what about Don't Go in the House? You guys a fan?
It was Don't Go in the House 1980.
I thought it was, wasn't it?
What a gross movie! Don't Go into houses,
Dude.
Anytime anything has to do with burning people, It's
Oh, wait.
1979.
My bad. I missed
no.
that one. Wait,
Oh,
why am I seeing?
I typed in "Don't Go in the Woods." That's 81. Whoops.
Yeah, there was a lot of cannibal ones. There's Cannibal Apocalypse too.
Which Cannibal Apocalypse is
That's
the
a good
worst
one.
title ever because it's barely a cannibal movie. It's about a Vietnam War veteran. You know what I mean? Like John Saxon, great
Yeah.
performance from him in that. But Cannibal Apocalypse was kind of like, I remember I watched that and Cannibal Man back to back, and I was like, neither of these have cannibals.
Chris just walked away disappointed.
It's like Jesus Christ, I gotta watch Cannibal Holocaust again. Oh my God.
a nice palate cleanser.
Fuck, dude. I was so disappointed. Cannibal Man had like this beautiful Severin slipcover. I'm like all excited. Cannibal Apocalypse was Kino.
Yeah, it's a nice 4K though.
Yeah.
That and what was it? Nightmare Beach came out around the same time.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, forgot about this. Sergio.
Oh no.
The legend himself.
Damn.
All right, guys.
Let's dedicate the episode to him.
Yes.
Rest
Well,
in peace.
Rest in peace.
So we obviously have discussed 1980 was filled with titles, and I think we already said this, but the moving forward, it's going to be tough. So I like the idea of going back once we get to a certain point and talking about the more lesser known deep cuts films. I think that'll be a good option to do. So there's just so much out there. But
dude, it's so much. It's actually overwhelming. Like sometimes when we're planning these episodes, and you're like, oh my God, like how do I pick?
Yeah, because I have a note in my phone. I have a notes app like going up to 87 or 88 of just titles, and it's like going 15, 20 titles that we can pick from. So it's going to get rough.
I mean, do you guys want a sneak peek at 1981? Do you want me to start listing things off?
Well, I mean, I got my list.
I feel unprepared. I don't have anything written.
I mean, as long as we talk about Possession and Burial Ground, I'm good.
Well, those were in there.
Possession is fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, it's so. I mean, and we talk about X-Ray and Schizoid. That's always good. We can talk about Madman.
Yep. Possession, The Beyond, Dead and Buried, Halloween 2.
Mars.
Dead and Buried is really, really good. I love that movie.
The Funhouse, Scanners, The Evil Dead.
Can we talk about Jess Franco's Bloody Moon?
I love that reaction.
I mean, come on, we got Ghost Story.
Is this your first entry in this year? No. So we started with 70 through, what do we do? 77?
Yeah, it was.
So if you go, it's on my channel. Actually, I need to do a playlist. I'll make a playlist of all these. So, and then tomorrow is going to be the podcast version of the 1979 episode.
Very good. Y'all are doing good. Y'all are keeping busy, man.
Dude, well,
trying.
Listen, I just want to give viewers the expectation to know that I will fight tooth and nail to make sure that for 81 we talk about Butcher Baker, Nightmare Maker.
Oh, dude, you better. That's a great, Yep. That mama was, that's good shit.
Yeah,
really
so nice. Jordan, put it on the goddamn list, bro.
All right. We'll talk.
What year, really quick, what year did Full Moon High come out? Have y'all seen, do y'all even know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
81.
All right. So listen, I'm not saying talk about it next month, but all I'll say is this. Larry Cohen is my boy. Like, I love his movies. Full Moon High is Teen Wolf with Caddyshack humor in it. That's exactly what Full Moon High is. It's fantastic. It's so funny. So watch. Scream Factory has a Blu-ray for Full Moon High. It's one of my favorites. I love it. It's one of the great little horror comedies from Larry Cohen. So,
yeah. I need more, Christian. I need more unhinged reviews from you, man.
Oh, like the Severin series.
Dude, I will never forget your 2020 Texas Gladiators experience.
I don't know his peanut butter solution episode.
So what's so funny is that's my I think that the peanut butter solution video may be my favorite video I've ever did because I didn't intend to even do it like that. The rest of them, I am like trying to do that, but the beauty of the peanut one was that literally it just came out that way, and I just rolled with it. And I don't know, I love doing that Severance series. I need to do another one. I'm trying to like just kind of truck along for Halloween. But listen, in 2 weeks, right before Halloween, I get so burnt out on horror that I'm gonna go out of my way to do some crazy Severin review. I'm gonna go out of my way to do that because believe me, that's the most fun I have is those crazy Severin ones. So, I mean, that credit goes to you for that 2020 Texas Gladiators because you took like this fucking, you know, People magazine picture of this movie, and I looked at it and I was like, "Oh my god, 20! There's no way that So I got it just because of him, and I watched it and I was like, "This is fucked. This is royally. This movie is royally fucked." And I watched it, and so I'm excited, man. I'm gonna get. I did another one. I can't remember what it was though. I think it was an alien movie.
I think it was
Extraterrestrial Visitors. I did that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
with Trumpy, the alien.
Yeah.
So
I think it was Will Dotson on the Disconnected show who shouted me out one time, and he was like, he said something like, only bearded film guy can take the most beautiful picture of the most piece of shit movie you've ever seen.
Dude, that's what made me laugh. This is exactly how I feel. It made me laugh so hard.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm gonna buy it.
He said every time he watches one of my videos, he's like, I feel like a 50s house mom watching an ad for a refrigerator. And I was like, thank you, man.
Just what I was going for.
Yeah. It's like, great. Okay. Now he's our producer for our fucking podcast.
That's funny. All right, guys. Well, I think that wraps it up. This was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it. I hope you guys had fun.
Absolutely.
Just as much fun as I did. So let's go ahead and we'll go through to each one of us and kind of promote what we've got going on, any new videos coming out or what your plan is. So Christian, we'll start with you since you're our guest here tonight.
Yeah, everybody can find me at just PlanetCHH. I'm pretty much that on all social media platforms. And me and my wife's small business, Unity Candles, we actually have a really cool launch tomorrow at 5 Central Time. Just be sure you're following the Instagram page so you're always up to date on that. And we've got all kinds of cool wax melts, and we got a Halloween candle we're dropping, and then for October we're gonna put out all the stops. We got all kinds of really cool stuff we got coming for that. I think tomorrow's videos is me kind of covering the sleepaway camp announcement and the what was it? I filmed it right before we came on here. The one with Justin Long being a part of Grave Encounters. I'm actually going to post 2 videos about that because I have some interesting opinions about both of those, maybe not so positive. So I think I'm gonna post those tomorrow. But now I'm really want to do another Severin one, so I'm gonna have to go look at the website and just pick out something from Severin Kids that is just bizarre and watch it. So,
I want to know your thoughts on you don't have to say it now. You do a video or whatever.
Sure.
But
I'll tell you here. I'm gonna post them tomorrow.
The Blumhouse little thing they did today.
I'm sure it, dude. I'm sure it's absolute. I'm sure it's absolutely stupid. Whatever it is, if it really had something to announce, he would announce it. You don't wait 15 years to announce something like that. It's going to be absolutely stupid.
It's a sequel to their hit movie from a couple of years ago, Fantasy Island.
Oh, dude, I was an idiot and bought that movie.
And then Christian, what was that other? You have another channel that it's for vinyls.
Oh, thank you, dude. As a matter of fact, I've got to get back on that. Radio CHH. I love doing vinyl rips. You can translate the sound of vinyl to digital, but you can't take digital and translate it to the sound of vinyl, interestingly enough. But I love doing vinyl rips. Sometimes I'll take stuff that's not really available on Spotify, like the Dragnet soundtrack, or I'll take Heavenly Bodies, or stuff like that. But then I'll also take stuff that I just love, like Blue Oyster Cult's one of my favorite bands. I'll do rips from them.
Nice.
And I need to get one up this weekend, man. I might do one of my old I have one of those old Monster Mash vinyls with those vinyls for kids where the back of the vinyl was actually like kids could color it in, and I have one of those. It's really cool. I might do that. But I need to get that rolling again, man, because I love listening to vinyl rips of stuff. Like if I'm on my jog or whatever, because I just love the uncompressed sound of a vinyl. Just you can't beat it. So I need to get back on that. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah. No, I wanted to champion that because I love that you do that. That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back on that. It's kind of a pain in the ass to do because I got to plug all my equipment up to the player, EQ it, record it all. So it takes a little bit of time, but I get in swings. Like when you collect vinyl, when you're in it, you're in it. But when you burn out, you don't want to even look at them. It's like it's always all or nothing with vinyl. You're either like excited about it and you just want to listen to it and look at it all day, or you're done. And so I go just like anybody. I go through those periods, I think.
Nice.
But it's time. I got to get it back up and rolling.
Awesome. Very cool. All right, Steve.
You guys can find me at After Hours Video on all social media. The only thing that I have coming up here in a couple days on Saturday, I'm doing an After Dark live stream with my buddy Josh from Beyond the Grave Media. We're actually going to be doing a deep dive into the cannibal subgenre of horror films. So covering Cannibal Holocaust amongst others. So I'm super pumped for that. And then obviously I'm a co-host on Beyond the Blood with Chris. Very excited about some of the upcoming episodes that we have in the works. So go check that out.
Yeah. All right, Chris.
Yeah, bearded film guy everywhere. I actually have a YouTube video coming out.
Hell yeah.
I took a deep dive.
Whoa.
Yeah. I took a deep dive into the Eureka Trouble Every Day release and kind of go into a little bit of the history of like the new French extremity horror. So that's coming. Of course, on Beyond the Blood, we have so much stuff in the works. Our episode covering the commentary for 1991's Popcorn comes out on October 1st. So not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Saturday, I've been having some issues with it, but it'll be out. Officially announced it here. Saturday, we're releasing our interview with Buddy Cooper, director of The Mutilator. We hung out with him for a while.
Amazing.
So we're going to be releasing that. And I do want to hype up real quick the most exciting thing I think we've been doing. We were lucky enough to partner with Encyclopocalypse Publications to cover Sleepaway Camp. We're going to be covering not just the commentary track, but also the new novelization put out by B.R. Flynn. And just want to tease, Beyond the Blood is going to be hosting one of the first ever Sleepaway Camp cast reunions. That's all I'm going to say. That's coming in October. So huge stuff is on.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you, dude. Huge stuff on the way over there. So if you're a podcast guy, I would tell you not to miss what's on the way.
Nice. Awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, well, you can find me here. You guys are already here. If so, this is where I'm at.
I'm not subscribed.
The Movie Den on Instagram.
Steve, did you hit your 300?
Oh, yes.
I'm one away.
Everyone needs to go follow.
Come on, yo. Let's do it.
Steven at After Hours Video right now.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Go give him a follow. He is one away from what were you going for?
300, man.
300. Let's get him to 325 tonight.
Let's do it,
man. Thanks, guys.
I'm going for it. So everyone needs to go follow him. Does some incredible short form content reviews.
Thanks, buddy.
I absolutely love them. So and the After Dark lives you've been doing have been killing it. So I think
thank you.
If you guys enjoy this kind of stuff, you'll love his channel. So go check it out. As far as for me, I actually don't have a video plan for tomorrow. This has been taking up a lot of my time. the past 2 weeks, so that's why I've kind of been slow on the videos getting out. But I might be able to put one on tomorrow, but we'll see. But anyways, that, and then you guys, I don't know if everyone saw it, but there was a little tease that some of us put up on Instagram of
that's coming up.
TV ad for Strode Realty.
Go check that out.
So if you haven't seen it on Instagram, go check it out. It's a little tease. We have something incredibly kind of daunting that we're going to be doing for the week of October, the week of Halloween.
It's only 1 week.
Yeah, I know. It's for the week of Halloween. So just kind of just be on the lookout. There'll be a lot of cool stuff that's going to be coming out here soon. But yeah, other than that, I think that does it for tonight. So guys, thank you so much for sticking around. We went a little further, a little longer than we anticipated, but that's all right. I think we had fun. So
Absolutely.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Later.
Later, guys.
See you guys.